Trying to check the YouTube and the Facebook, make sure it goes.
Yep.
Here we go.
All right, I guess we are live. Hello, everyone, and
Literally
welcome
live.
to, literally live. We are on the first of hopefully many kind of live call-ins of Shed Talk. I'm Ernest, and this is Goof.
And I'm
And
finally off the COVID and feeling wonderful.
yes, and
Oh, thanks.
and there's no echo. Hopefully this time.
No, I took care of that. That was my fault. This thing in the past.
And so I just want to start off by saying that anyone who calls in, their views do not necessarily reflect those of me, Goof, or French. We just got to say that right off the bat. We do not want to hear anything, that might be considered discriminatory or expressing kind of extremist kind of political views. We don't subscribe to any of that. And if you are going to call in, and anyone's more than welcome to call in, please keep that in mind, and please keep the swearing to a minimum. There may or may not be children listening, and just kind of make it a little more inclusive for everyone. I usually don't use that word, but in this case, I shall. So there's a lot of kind of things to, I guess, talk about while we wait for a couple of callers. And like I said, on in. Let's make this as good, if not better, than Nightline used to be.
Don't want me. I'm not ignoring or not saying anything. I'm just trying to set up on YouTube and Facebook. So I just got a couple.
Oh, you are on.
Those open.
Yeah, the YouTube
seems to be fine.
Yeah, it is. Because I'm just keeping an eye on that as well. I also got to take issue with that Leafs jersey, that Leafs shirt you got on. Don't tell me you're a Leafs fan.
Well, I wouldn't. It's one if I was a. Right. So,
okay. That's it. We got to stop the show.
What about this one?
Listen. I'm like, funny thing is, I'm not a hockey.
It's just Dad, not number one Dad. It just says Dad.
Yeah, Leafs haven't been number one at much for a very, very, very long time. I think, when was the last time they won a cup? Like 67?
7, yeah. But 93 is nothing to...
93 is a much better number than 67.
Yeah, but when you get past a certain point, none of it matters, right?
That's true. I mean, it could be worse. We could be Ottawa.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything, or Vancouver. They're pretty bad too. But I know that someone I know who may or may not be listening. I'll say this: Boston is kind of okay too. Just, and he knows who he is. He's a big Boston. Gotta give him that little win.
I got a lot of Boston buddies.
I don't hold it against them. Tell you the truth, I don't even actually watch hockey. I actually watch cricket. So I mean, that's just who I am. I just like cricket. It's fun.
Cricket. I wouldn't even know.
Cricket.
Okay,
really?
I'm just sending out the link to my father used to watch it, but
I love cricket. I play it. Tell you the truth, it's a good sport. You can actually play it in St. John's. Well, I actually got a cricket pitch out there. We tried to get one out here too, but there's not enough demand for it. And
send the link to my neighbors. Okay, so that's all taken care of. I don't know if it's on Facebook or not yet. It should be, but it doesn't.
I can't really go in between here because I'm literally using my phone for this. That's why I've got the headphones, the earbuds.
I'm just going to post you're live and give the link, and then we're done. Hopefully we'll have a call or two. I didn't even check yet if we got any. There we go. Yeah, so, okay, back to here. Okay, I'm going to leave the rest alone for now. We got somebody in the chat, and that would be Yammy. Cricket.
Hello, Yammy.
Cricket sounds hipster to me. Okay.
Well, hey, it's actually not very hipstery because it's actually a long game, and I don't know if hipsters could actually handle the length of it. Because I mean, you can play cricket for literally like days. It takes time.
So didn't use gloves. How hard is the ball? I'm guessing it's just as hard as a baseball.
It's solid. It's solid cork.
Okay. Yeah. So catching with no.
You want to catch it with some kind of protection, yeah, and you definitely want to wear shin pads when it's being like bowled at you. It will break your bones. I've seen those balls fly, like the bounce. It actually gains momentum when it bounces. So it's
hopefully no one thought that you meant croquet and not cricket.
Yeah, no, oh God, definitely not croquet. No, my beard is fantastic, but I don't twirl my mustaches. So I mean, it's not really. Yeah,
a little too late.
well, that's actually.
Well,
we're learning. But who's not really learning? The Liberal government. They never seem to learn. I was actually watching something earlier. Well, I mean, hey, makes kind of sense. I put out a little picture on Twitter a while back there with my local MP with the tape on her mouth and that, because she is one of the Silent Six, and I know they.
Miss Hutchings, yeah, right.
Yeah,
you remember? Yeah,
okay. Goody. Yeah, my member is Goody Hutchings. Yeah. Not a bad person. I can understand, why there is the silence. You do want to keep your position in cabinet, and we all know what happens when you say something that Justin Trudeau doesn't like. You get out of a job after that. Jody Wilson-Raybould, Jane Philpott. There's a few other people. But that's neither here nor there. But I mean, silence in cabinet seems to be a plus, less than it is a negative. But like it's a big problem for me because I mean, like especially with this new NDP Liberal kind of coalition alliance, whatever they want to call it. I don't really buy the whole PC notion that it's an NDP Liberal government, because if it's a Liberal NDP government, you're going to have NDPers in cabinet positions. They don't have cabinet positions. So.
Okay, sorry, I was a little distracted, but I'm all business now. I got it all set up, so.
Perfect. And thanks everyone for being patient with us. We are still learning at this. Technology is.
Someone's asking about Adam French. He, he got called into work again. I think he works 24/7, but he'll be with us soon. He's just going to get some supper, and he'll be along shortly.
Yep. And
takes.
Yes, his. Oh no, French is a good guy. I like Adam.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he wasn't, we wouldn't be doing a show with him.
No,
but
even though he's a Trontonian now,
mainland transplant there, I guess. Like the thing about like Bay Nord and that is, I kind of getting back into that is we really need to realize that everything here is kind of in flux here. Just give me 1 sec. Sorry, my cat was here causing a bit of trouble. Yeah, the joys of pet ownership. But yeah, she's got an opinion on Bay Nord. But no, like I should say what I was trying to say earlier is that this is kind of a Liberal NDP government. It doesn't really make sense. It is an alliance. It is kind of a coalition of convenience. But
yeah, that's a good way to put it because it's not a coalition. Well, maybe not by definition it's not, but it's a coalition.
It definitely is a coalition in a way. Like I don't really have an accurate kind of description for it. But the thing about it is that it's not a good position for us because we have the NDP kind of holding the balance of power now, and they're not exactly sympathetic to the, I guess, the Newfoundland economic way of life. You know, they don't like oil and gas, at least not our oil and gas.
What do you mean, Canadian
Um, yeah,
or East
Canadian oil
Coast?
and
Yeah,
gas,
yeah.
but well, then again, they don't really like. There's a few things that they really don't like about this country. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes, there's certain things that the NDP has gotten involved with that I personally I can't agree with. Um, like with the whole elite manifesto. That's more or less what I mean to say. I remember when that came out, and I remember how Rachel Notley, weirdly enough, when I was up in Alberta, Rachel Notley did not want to subscribe to that. I mean, common sense that she doesn't, because Alberta's an oil province. So even the cat does not like an elite manifesto. So sorry guys if you hear the cat meowing. Um, I can't control it. But yeah, no. So like, but that's the thing. Like the NDP, there's a lot of things that I don't agree with. That I believe that their their party does not really have the best interest of the quote unquote Canadian worker at heart. Not anymore. Like
No.
they've moved away from that.
Well, I was growing up to be told that they were the working, working man, but I could change that to working person's party, the workers' party kind of thing. And when I got old enough to realize, holy shit, no, they're not even close. In my
No,
opinion, I mean,
no.
some will say they are, and some will say they're not. But they've never even come close to Jack. I mean, Jack Layton was probably the best thing that ever happened to the NDP, and he was,
Yeah, he was.
yeah,
I liked Leighton.
I like Layton as well.
Um, give me 1 second here. Cat decided to climb up on things. It doesn't usually do that. But yeah, no, like Leighton was the best. I think the problem with Jagmeet Singh is that he's a bit of a populist in a way, but he's more of like that kind of he kind of appeals to a youthful kind of branch of that, and more along the lines of the left wing, um, urban kind of voter. It's not to you and me, the rural kind of rustic folk.
No, and again, well, the NDP almost kind of has to, and they do have their own level of demagoguery because, well, every party does, but catering to the certain demographic, like the last Orange Book. Remember, it said one of they said they wanted to abolish the full Canadian military, gone. Every And then Jagmeet came out right away and said, "No, I don't agree with that at all." But,
Well, like I
dude,
said, he's still a bit of a populist on that regard because he kind of
yeah,
wants to go with that flow. Um, and I'm going to keep talking. I just have to let my cat out again, so don't mind me, folks. This is the joys of pet ownership, and occasionally children, I guess. I
I mean,
only have
takes a
one,
picture.
not the other.
Jesus, boys, I can bring up your names and pictures on live if you want. I'll get pictures of me that try to embarrass me. It's not going to work. Start your own podcast and put them on there.
Hey, bye. But no, like the other, I got to say this kind of thing about the NDP too is that for a while they were actually kind of infiltrated by literal communists. I mean, there's a lot of people you would even see, say, for example, on Twitter, where it'd be, they got these hammer and sickle kind of little things in their bios and that. And
No,
they're,
even shirts and stuff too, right? Like,
oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Like, but
yeah,
but like no, they would have that, and they're like, Pete, it's not the party that I believed it to be, and da 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 da. They don't abolish this. They don't do enough against, say, for example, I don't know, Israel and this and that. Because they a lot of these kind of younger kind of left wing, they like to do the boycott, divest, sanction thing. And
Well, a lot of the old hammer and sickle thing is just pure ignorance. They don't have a clue what they're talking about. And, they probably
I
saw
know.
it and their buddy talking about it, so they jumped on the kind of on the wagon kind of thing, but they have no idea. And if they're ever educated about it, they might change their mind.
Well, like I'll say this, like when I've been to Peru like a couple times, and the first time was in 2017, and another time was in 2018, and both times I saw the kind of the results of socialism. I saw a lot of Venezuelan refugees, and actually in Peru there's about, I think around 1.5 million Venezuelans, and they're all refugees, and
Yeah.
and you hear them talk, and it's hard, man. Like I went around the capital, Lima. I was talking to people, because I'm weird. I don't vacation like normal people. I don't really go to the beach and drink and sit down and do this and that. I actually
Oh,
literally
that's
go
me.
around.
That's
Oh,
me.
I can't do it.
Well, I
I
did it
can't sit on a
once, and that's it.
resort.
Yeah.
But I'll go around, and I'm nosy. I'm a newfie. I got to. I must go around and see what's on the go and see what the buys is at, and as it were. And so I'd go around. I would kind of talk to people and kind of get an idea of what's going on in the country, what the politics are like. Is everything kind of going well? And when you see the Venezuelans, and I mean, God love them, they're trying their best. I mean, they're in a place where people kind of don't want them there because I mean it's competition for resources. The resources in these kind of countries are very limited. The housing, the medicine,
Yeah.
things like that, jobs especially. And Venezuelans are generally skilled workers because before the whole thing went to complete shit, Venezuela actually had some of the best universities in South America.
Yeah.
And the kind of what the point I'm trying to make here is that when I remember I went to this one kind of rally because these communists would have these debates in a place called the Plaza San Martin. So they have these debates and they'd all be arguing and they'd all be kind of shouting about how great socialism is. And the I guess it was the weirdest thing is there's guys with microphones shouting that they needed to have Peru become like Venezuela. They needed to have the Bolivarian Revolution, they called it. And there's all these like Venezuelan refugees literally mulling around them, selling hot cocoa and chocolates and other kinds of crap. And they're all just like I remember one time they all just kind of stopped and they're like, are you joking? And they actually got mad. They actually had to have the police come in and kind of keep an eye on it because these guys were like, oh, the socialism is the way.
Oh,
And
yeah.
this one dude gets up and he had this yellow shirt on. I'll never forget it. He comes over, he goes, listen, I was a professor in Venezuela. I had a great job at a university. And you know what? The thing that you're advocating for, the thing that you want to happen, ruined my life. I am now a construction worker. He's like I went from from an ivory tower to a dirt floor, like to the what was it? No, it was the concrete floor. And
Yeah.
he's like, I don't give a shit what you have to say about this stuff. He's like, I don't care what you think this is the way. It's not the way. He's like, if you guys bring that here, I'll see you in Chile or something like that. It was
Ugh.
crazy. But there's Mr. French. How you doing, sir?
There we
Hi,
go.
There
Jeez.
now
what's
I
up? What are you at? We got any callers or what?
Not the one in the waiting room yet, so I
Not
don't know
the
what's
one.
going on.
What the
No.
fuck? Everybody
And
said
we're
they'd call in and nobody fucking called. What a bunch of cunnies.
and we're and we're streaming 19 minutes now and not one call.
Streaming 19 minutes, not a fucking soul.
Stream.
Well, we knows who we can fucking count on when they say something.
Well, Newfoundland in a
well,
nutshell,
come on,
yes.
boys. Let's call in. Let's have a chat. I mean, like you've had
Fuck
a
it, boys.
week
Get
of
the
a certain.
goddamn phone book out and start calling people.
Let me see.
But I
What do
mean,
you-
like
See,
listen,
Pat
you
Daly
boys.
listed in the phone book.
He's probably busy.
Yeah.
This is his week off.
Um,
You might get Tim Powers if you call. So
No, that's more of a reason for people to call in. Listen, we're not going to have like every single political commentator from Ottawa call in
We're
and
not.
be like, "Well, I know, I'm shocked. I mean,
No.
we're not like Tim."
Man.
not from Ottawa, just one from Toronto.
Andrew Coyne or whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Speaking of
Well-
open line and stuff, rest in peace, Maurice Budgell. I don't know if you ever listened, but he used to call in all the time. Real nice guy.
Wait, like not years ago.
Morris Budgell. Yeah, he called in all the time.
Not Morris Budgell from Kings Point.
I don't know where he's from. I just saw.
I think
his
he
obituary.
is. Yeah.
Holy fuck! I didn't know Morris died.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
Well,
Might have been today. Yeah.
When was that?
Either yesterday or today. Could have been. It was the last couple of days anyway.
Shocking, boy! I didn't even
yeah.
fucking look on the Facebook and see.
Yeah,
No,
he was a good.
bad,
He was a good guy. First, I remember the last time I heard
roll
him call.
to the end.
Yeah, the last time I heard him call, he called in and he said, "Okay." When the election was over, he said, "Okay, time for Cliff Small to cross the floor to the Liberals." Yeah.
Okay, now that people are starting to actually listen, now I can actually talk seriously. So Bay de Nord of MPs and floors.
Okay, you two
Five
chat.
are
I'm
pretty
gonna
silent.
send out the because no one's calling. What the hell? So
Yeah,
two
well,
of
we
you
got
guys,
10. Well, we got 10 people in the YouTube one listening. So, boys, call in. You've had to deal with Patty wasn't on all week. You know, you've had someone else who's not Patty. Give us a call. You know, let's make the call in kind of interesting. Come on, we know you can do it.
Well, what's this? What's this? I hear.
And
see
if you
one.
don't, the environmentalists win.
Got to download the app, not going at it. Oh, well, you don't have. Okay, I got to give that part out. If you're on a computer, laptop, or desktop, you don't have to download anything. You just put the link in your. But if you're on a phone or an iPad, you have to download the app, which is free. And as soon as you download the app, you just put it in the same thing. So stop being an arsehole and download the app, or get on your computer. I know what you got. Okay, so I'm gonna put the link. Not that you're going to call in anyway, DF. But yeah.
Did we see Trudeau get roasted? Yeah, I saw that.
Who's that? What are you seeing that on?
The YouTube one.
Oh, okay.
YouTube live stream. Yeah.
And
So
right
I'm
away,
kinda watching.
I watched the last one today. No, I think it was an Irish woman, but I think that might have been an older clip. But right away, well, CBC. I don't even know if it's true or not, but CBC put out a story, right wing populist, and I have no idea if that's true. Before, I've never heard of the girl before. I just watched the clips.
He's I believe he's a little bit kind
Croatian.
of right wing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's.
And the
yeah.
other, I think the lady was Netherlands, maybe. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, I think he's a bit. I know there was this Polish fellow I used to watch, and he was a little bit kind of to the right. I don't really pay attention to European politics or anything that really goes on. You know, I watched the Ukraine situation, of course, but
Yeah.
oh,
No.
but,
I'm just looking.
yeah.
It says we got 2 in the audience, but I don't see any meeting room. So I don't know if I'm giving it the wrong link or not. Maybe I should invite them. I'm going to resend the link as guest and see if that helps any.
Okay.
Copy link. Okay, boys. Here she goes.
Did my camera just turn off when I switched out of the screen?
Yes.
Nope. Okay.
Or well, I don't know if it might have blinked, but you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
on my end.
you went black for a second there.
Did I know?
Black face for a second. Try this link.
Yeah.
Okay. See if this one works.
But no, like boys, like seriously though, there is a lot of issues going on in the province now, and one thing I've seen one link there where there was someone kind of there was a Chilean who opened up a business here, and she said like for someone who's like doesn't have permanent residency, things like that, it's very hard for them to get set up. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed. I think there should be kind of certain programs in place to help with that. Because I mean, like I've seen it here. She was actually saying like she had to hand like in order to start this, she had to give her part of a large percentage of her company over to someone who actually was a permanent resident. And I mean, I kind of can't agree with that. But then again, there's a lot of things about doing business in this province that I really can't agree with. Um, Liquor and marijuana laws in particular. Can't stand the way the government handles that. Like it's crazy, like how tight a grip the government has on people's businesses.
Yeah. No, sorry, I'm just in and out again because I'm trying to get the link out.
Yeah, but
okay. Okay, I thought you were muted. But what are you picking up? Cello lessons? Is that a cello in the background?
Yes, there's a cello in the background.
Yes.
Nice.
No, it's but yeah, no, like it's like I was saying here, like she couldn't hire people, rent space, get funding, get a credit card from the bank. Now, to an extent, I can understand why, because I mean it's hard to kind of establish that trust and kind of I guess what's the word, collateral when you're just kind of arriving in the country. But there still needs to be I think there should still be a kind of an easy way or an easier way to set up a business, because I mean Newfoundland, we need business and we need people, and the only way we're going to do that is if we make things easier, like a lot of the things around taxation too, like we're taxing people who earn like a certain amount, like right now.
Yeah, that link you sent earlier about the
but the Fraser Institute,
that one was over 100,000. So right away you're going to get boo hoo, making over 100,000. I mean, you're
but
cast aside as well. 100%. I'm just saying you're almost automatically cast aside as well to do, and who cares? Like when prime example is when the Fort Mac kind of went bust and all those people lost their jobs, and boo hoo, oil, they should have saved up enough for this, and they got 2 skidoos and 2 cabins and 2, which is, I mean, is a stereotype that's rarely ever true. I mean, everybody knows somebody that's like that, but usually the stereotype is not overwhelmingly not true, but people see it as such anyway. The oil patch worker, take a regular job. Even though, really hard jobs.
You know one stereotype that is true though? The fucking stupid newfie.
In regards to what?
I'm just fucking boy. Okay. In the opinion of most mainland.
It may seem that, I mean, how long are we going now? Half hour almost. Not one call yet. So I guess the liquid courage is not down yet. A couple more lambs and Pepsis, boys, and call in, or Miller Lite, or
or the Blue Star. You gotta have Newfoundland based alcohol. You gotta have Newfoundland.
Black Horse is my beer, so
Dominion by Dominion.
Sometimes
Dominion is the stuff.
It's India.
Sometimes it's a little thicker. India's good too.
Yep. India's good. India's good. Jockey Club.
No, can't do Jockey Club.
Man, but now, okay, you know what? By the way, guys, if I seem a bit kind of all over the place, it's sometimes kind of hard to focus when we don't have a set topic and we're just trying to pull things together in order to, also we're waiting for calls. So I'm usually not like this. Please forgive. Okay, so
I'm always a disorganized mess, so I'm not going to apologize.
Yeah, but you're from
we
Central,
were
so
promised.
It's okay.
I'll call in, but now they're losing their.
Yeah, that was before they realized that they had to fucking follow through.
Now you know what? That's cool, boys. Because you know what, we can still do a good show while we wait for someone to call in. That's what we're here for. We're here to entertain, educate, and that we've got 11 viewers in the YouTube, so that's
That's it.
pretty good. Well, hey, it's Friday night. There's no masks on. The boys is out down dancing. Maybe they
How reckless.
maybe they
No, I was just flippantly saying that's it, because we're still a
No, I
fledgling,
know.
fledgling podcast, right? So two little episodes, kind of episode number 3, but we didn't really have a topic.
Well, shit.
No,
guessed.
that's
Viewers is not bad, to be honest with you, for a bunch of.
No. Well, I mean, the first one was 600, and the second one was $2
Well, yeah.
earlier.
That's live right now, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's
no shed talk stamp in the middle. We get all that on, put it on later on. Might get a few more.
yeah. So I mean, but kind of as we kind of take things a bit, get on kind of a topic while we wait here. It's crazy to me that people actually have a problem with high earners coming to the province. I mean, if we're talking about attracting, say, tech, for example, tech companies don't pay their workers like $15 an hour. They pay these guys like a lot of money. So, and that's in order to keep and kind of attract and retain talent. So, I mean, if we're going to go ahead and take these people and say, we don't want you, you make too much money. You're not the kind of person we want here. Or we just make it generally unpleasant for them. They're not going to stay here. And I'm sorry if this hurts someone to say this. The guys making $100,000, they pay a decent amount of tax. So we kind of need that money. You want your roads paved, you want your streets cleared, you want all these other things you want. You got to be fine with the guys making 100,000.
Yeah,
and
I got three of those guys right now actually are prodding me from. They're in Goose Bay now, half on the drunk, I would imagine, watching, having a big old laugh at us.
Cheers to them.
I'm not going to say their names unless they want me to later. But hello, boys. I wish I was up there with you, but I got COVID. We'll blame it on COVID.
Who got COVID now?
Oh no, I just got over it. Monday was my out day. I could come out. Monday.
Oh, you were allowed out in the world again.
Yeah, but I waited till Wednesday just to be. I waited till Wednesday just to be safe.
Should have tested, because if you don't test and you don't test positive, you have COVID, right?
Yeah, I suppose. But I don't want anyone to catch it here off me. Anyway.
No, I wouldn't either.
Not off me anyway.
Well, I wouldn't want anyone to catch it anyway. I mean, it is, for all the kind of jokes and that people make, but it is not a pleasant thing to get. I mean, I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want anyone to get it.
Well, the only bad day that I had was that day that we did the podcast and I sat out, but man, I was miserable in the way that a flu would make you miserable. Like I was tired and just a little bit of a hoarse voice, and congestion was the only thing. The day before that, I slept all day, and the days before that, geez, I was out sawing up wood and doing everything else, because I didn't even know wouldn't have even known I had it, only for my young fellow was at a birthday party and caught it, and we had to get tested. And that was the only way I would have found out. Now, I would have found it after the fact. I'm just saying, 3 or 4 days before that, I never would have known.
Do you want to know something funny? And kind of speaking about COVID, and that this is something that I found out, and I think is crazy. There's a bunch of groups of people that can get the rapid test supplied by the government, right? First responders are not one.
No.
Nope. I know that for a fact, because I know that firefighters and things like that, they don't automatically get those. And
well, they're using the school system, aren't they? For the you get 10 per student, and then unlimited supply if you run out. Completely unlimited, so they say.
But first responders don't get it, and you would figure that schools, first responders, and hospitals, that would be the crowd who would get the rapid test. Because I mean, you want your firefighter to be able to firefight, not wonder, oh my God, do I have a cough? Do I have COVID or not? Like they got that, and if they just get a flu, they could probably still do work or things like that. I don't know. I've never been a firefighter. I don't know how hard it is to fight a fire when it's a flu. When you got the flu, I think, French, you used to be a firefighter, didn't you?
Yeah, if you got flu, you can still show up and go by.
Okay. Well, I don't know, man. Like I've never really done it, but I mean, like with
Up.
Oh,
True.
okay. Hold on a second. Okay, boys. Well, I got good news. Kind of. It's kind of. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The good
give
news
us the bad news first.
is who
The
is
bad
it?
news is the bad news is no. The bad news is there's a problem with the link, but the good news is
Oh.
people are trying to call in.
Oh,
So and I got two that can't. So I'm gonna let's see. Actually, I'm going to ask him. I'm going to email him the link like I did to you guys. How's that?
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. While we're waiting there, I got to admit to this other thing too. There's certain people who have been talking lately about how we need a certain living wage, and I actually love the discussion about a living wage because it's such a subjective um, kind of thing. You know, it's a living wage in St. John's. It's not the same as a living wage in St. Anthony. A living wage in St. Anthony is not the same as a living wage in Port aux Basques. Um, and the other thing about it is that it also depends on the differences between the like your living arrangements. Are you single? Are you single? Do you have kids? How many kids do you have? You know, I saw someone there talking about the high vis. That's why I said signal. But yeah, in the chat, everyone's telling French to put on his safety jacket. Um, I mean, that's
Because
his.
yeah,
That's his
usually
kind
does.
of.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
calling card, I
it's
guess.
just it. Well, I mean, yeah, that's his. That's his kind of, I guess, uniform for the podcast. I guess the
He'll
high
put that
vis
on
jacket.
when I puts the Jason mask on. It's a bit too
Well,
talking
stuffy
about
with
my
that.
jacket back? Is that what you're doing?
What's that?
well,
You talking about me? Talking about me?
Yeah.
well, yeah. The
Someone was
boys.
saying. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Someone was
No,
saying,
no, no. I was gonna say like. Well, no, the boys were saying they can't recognize you with your high vis vest on.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
All right. We might have a caller in a second. I got this.
Might
it
have a
figured
caller in a second. Imagine. God, I hope it's somebody good.
out.
Joking, whoever it is going to be amazing. Hooray!
Oh, definitely, definitely. Come on,
They're
come on.
gonna pop our collar cherry.
Boys, it's come
Yes.
on with a Friday.
Come on with Friday, yeah.
No, you gotta have your own. We gotta have our own like free for all Friday or something like
Yeah.
that.
Give it
Bottom
to a Friday.
shelf, buddy. Bottom shelf.
bottom shelf. There you
Bottom
go.
shelf.
You know,
I used to say
we're
that
not.
as I used to say that when I was fake Paddy Daly. Remember the Twitter thing I had?
Oh, man, some of those were pretty fucking good though.
Yeah,
God.
you were.
Yeah.
You were you did a pretty good job with Patty, didn't you?
Let him die in a vine. And before that, well, I had fake Brad Cabana, but he ran his course, so I had to let that go too. That was years ago. Like
that was a lot of
14.
waiting to happen.
No, but I kept it pretty good. I mean, obviously a pair. I didn't put anything out that was. He just blocked me right away.
He fucking blocks everybody to fucking cunt.
So yeah, he blocked himself actually, I think. So yeah, snipers on the goose put on when the protesters busted through the gate in Muskrat Falls in 16 or 17, which was that anyway?
What is this, Hillary Clinton? You know, I was under fire, like when Hillary Clinton was running.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was under fire or something like that.
Yeah,
and everyone was like, "No, you weren't."
Not him.
No, it wasn't Benghazi. No, it was.
No.
Yeah, they
it
found
was,
it. No, it wasn't. Yeah, and they found it after it was a bunch of shit. It was just.
No, it was the Balkans. It was like I think it was Kosovo or Croatia or Bosnia. Oh, Bosnia. That's what it was. You know, we came in under fire. No, you were the first lady. You definitely were under fire. They suppressed everything there.
Yeah.
But no, like I was trying to say here is the whole living wage arrangement, and I found that kind of it's a very interesting thing to hear about because it doesn't make sense. Earlier, there's no such thing as a single living wage. It's very subjective. It depends on like so many different factors, like where you are, what your kind of lifestyle is, how many children you have or have not. You know, it's so many different things. So like a living wage for me It's probably different than a living wage for Goof or a living wage for French.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And geographical location. There's all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah, no, there is, and that's the. I mean, people just say, "Oh, we need $15 an hour, or we need $20 an hour, we need $25 an hour."
Well, it's never going to end. It's just going to keep going up.
Well,
15 in
yeah, and I
fairness.
mean, well,
like I was talking to a guy today. 15 in fairness is soon be 20 in fairness, and which will soon be 25 in fairness. Which I don't know. Everything goes up, and as that should too. But there has to be. Oh, what's he at now?
he's out causing trouble. That's it. He's gonna. But no, like the thing about it is that, like, I want people to have a good lifestyle. I want them to be able to earn a decent wage. But at the same time, it's not the government's job to give you that wage. The government is only it's there for many different reasons. Probably not that one in my personal opinion. And like the things that I say, um, can't really be reflected on, say, what Goof or French say, and vice versa. Like, we're all kind of independent people coming together into this space to have a conversation or two. But so but like the thing that I'm trying to say is that there's other ways that you can actually give someone a bit better of a lifestyle. I mean, I like my taxes to be lower. I'm not making the highest wage either. I'm on the lower end kind of earner. But I'm in a situation right now where, that doesn't affect me so much, mostly because, I worked in Alberta for a bit. I've made some money, and I scrolled it away and got, different things I'm invested in and that. And so it's not so bad, but I still want them to tax me less.
Yeah, 100%. And nobody willingly wants to pay more taxes. And if you do, you can just cut the government a check and send it in, man. Just no big deal at all.
Well, I've had that argument with a few people. There's one particular individual. I'm not going to say his name, but I remember they did an article one time where they said, the government should tax. I want the government to tax me more because it's a good thing or something like that. And we all know who I'm talking. Everyone here knows who I'm talking about, because they love to write these kind of articles talking about it. But then I said, well, why don't you just pay the government more? Oh, well, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. They should just tax everyone. I don't want to be the only one kind of doing it.
Oh, well, be the change you want to see and put your money where
Yeah,
your
exactly.
mouth is, right?
Yeah. Lead by example.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Maybe others will follow, but I highly doubt you'll get too many. Going to throw
Well,
more, because it's obviously going to cut into your disposable income.
Oh, big time!
Why would you want to do that?
No, definitely. But like one thing that I found kind of was fun too. Like, I had this conversation with another fellow today and yesterday, and they're talking about like how we need to get rid of all the oil production in Canada, and because if not, we're exploiting for future generations. Like, we're opening ourselves up to exploitation, and I'm like, no, we're not, because the funny thing about that is, if we stop producing oil, it doesn't mean like the rest of the world is gonna be like, oh my god, the Canadians have started this. They've given up their evil petroleum producing ways. They've all started living vegan lifestyles and driving.
Yeah,
we got to follow suit. Come on, Saudi Arabia, let's just chuck all that oil out, leave it in the sand, and everything's going to be great. We're all going to like get electric vehicles, and everything will be fantastic. Oh, what kind of industry do we have in Saudi Arabia? Nothing.
Oil, and that's it. Yeah.
That's
and you can pick whatever
it.
country. You can pick whatever oil producing country you like, which there are many, but someone's going to pick up the slack if the oil doesn't come out of Beta Nord or any of the other wells out there. I think there's 4 in that little area. Yeah. If it doesn't come out of them, the Jean d'Arc Basin. Yeah. But yeah, I think there's Beta Verde, the Harpoon, and what was the other one? There's another one.
Yeah, there's
The
but
Frenchman called it John Dark. Best in.
Johnny what? Johnny Arc?
Yeah. I don't fucking know, man.
No. I'm just
fucking passing.
I'm just fooling around. Okay.
Trying to lighten the shit up, motherfuckers.
There you go. Still in the green. Okay, so we got somebody in the green room already.
Oh, deadly.
Who is it?
It still says no one in the waiting room. What the hell?
Fuck the waiting room. What's the green screen?
No, he said he was in the green. He or she said he was in the green. He or she were.
Way to go in
room
a sense of
waiting.
gender. They could be a they, you know.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. It's not showing on my end. I'm just in conversation with in direct message here.
But no, like kind of saying the other thing here too about this is like a lot of these countries, they don't have the same kind of safety and environmental regulations that we do. Like I remember when I was working up at
if any.
Well,
right?
yeah, I mean like I really don't think the Saudis French is distracting the like nice job, man. Like pick on the guy with ADHD who can't focus.
Hey man, I'm on that too, but I'm medicated. You wouldn't tell though. Obviously.
But no, like the thing about this is even if like thanks dude.
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
But no, I know. But like I'm just trying to say they're not going to just switch their economies and make themselves poor while they wait for something new to come along just because Canada sets the example.
Yeah.
They don't care about us. The other countries in the world who actually buy all this oil and gas, they don't care about us. Like
it's not only oil and gas, but from 2 years ago to 2030, I remember the numbers. It was close to 200 coal-fired plants going to be built in China alone. Now, coal is the dirtiest dirt of the dirt,
Yep.
right? So, how does that look on when you light sweet crude?
But they'll say it's on a per capita basis. So on a per capita,
no,
China's fine because there's only a few billion of them, right?
Yeah.
So per capita, they're fine. That's what they say.
All for a pat on the back.
We've got to make the change so that they in the future will take our example and go with it.
Yeah, but that change more for a pat on the back, if anything, right? And my numbers might be off, but 1.3% is Canadians, between 1.3 and 1.6% of the global emissions is from Canada.
Uh-huh.
And of that, 0.04 is from offshore Newfoundland. So a fraction of 1% of the 100%.
But yet we've got the locals getting off their fucking heads saying, shut her down, boys, turn off the goddamn taps and get the electric vehicle.
It's a NIMBY.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's
which is another stereotype. Newfoundland is true. NIMBY.
What is it ever? There was the people against fracking out this way a while back. And
okay, well, go ahead. I'll give you a point on that in a second.
No, go on.
Well, that was totally different. I remember, I believe it was under Kathy Dunderdale that she banned all fracking on the West Coast. Was that correct? Look at that. We got one in the waiting room, but I'll just finish this point. It was, I think it was Kathy Dunderdale, but I remember the argument and I was working with 4 guys from Stephenville at the time. And talking about it, I said, "Man, it's a good thing." He said, "No, was that, man? Because it's going to get into and their main concern was we're so much just pure hard rock you're going down through, and it's going if it got into the water table, they're screwed." And I can see his point.
Yeah,
right.
Now that's true. Now, to an extent, though, like if the fracking can be done in an environmentally safe way, well, as safe as it can be, it's not perfect. Like
it blew up in the States under Trump.
Oh my God, did it ever?
Right? Yeah.
I remember maybe Sarah Palin, drill baby drill. I remember that when she was running for vice president. But I guess we got the waiting room. Let's bring them on.
We do. We got, and it says Moonman. And I'm going to apologize right away. The reason about some of the calls not coming in, it was my fault. I did send it the wrong link. Still working out the gremlins and all that kind of shit. But it just says waiting room, Moon Man. So we're going to admit him right now. I guess he's going to take French's place because French just got out. So, all right, here we go. Admit. Hello. What the hell happened? He disappeared. I hit admit and it disappeared. Oh, man. Please keep this page open. You can still hang up. I'm not going to hang up on him. Let's go back. It's kind of funny because when we had Dale on, it worked perfect.
I know. Well, minus the echo thing, but that was.
Yeah, factors. But that was on my end too, and I got rid of that too. New headset for one, and there was a button I didn't have pressed, the echo cancellation.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Other than that, Dale was good.
Oh, Dale was best kind. Like I always enjoy talking with him because I had him on the In the Trenches podcast too, and he was fantastic on that one. And literally every time I've done a podcast with Dale Kirby, something happens. Like every time. I did it with me and my other host on my other show, with Lenny. Literally, when we were getting started, the power went out in half of Stephenville, and it was right on Lenny's side of town. And Lenny was the one hosting it because usually he has the better internet connection. So it got cut out. So we had like a half hour of conversation gone. We had to restart.
Hey, we got Moon Man back now. It just says
deadly.
Moon Man. That's all it says, and I don't know who it is. So we're going to try again. I wonder if he's going to say Yabba Dabba Doo. Like, remember the Moon Man from years ago, George McLaren and Bill Rowe. And anyway, let's see who it is. Here he is.
Hey, how's it going?
Audio only. How are you? Oh, what the hell? The jitters, or was that me?
Not sure.
I ask if his internet connection is.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm fucking getting aggravated with my phone. That's all.
Oh, we had
you gotta get a tablet or something.
The Moon Man came on. And he was on for about 2 seconds, and I'm not saying he left on his own accord, but he was either kicked or I think Okay, it went from.
I accidentally joined as an audience, and there were 6 people watching via this app, the Riverside FM shit.
So. Oh yeah, but I resent out the link if they want to come on as a guest, because that was my fault. Okay, so we got a guest that says the name of it is I think I fixed it, but I'm assuming it's the Moon Man who thinks he fixed it.
The Moon Man.
Yeah, the Moon Man. That's the name. So let's go.
Yabba dabba doo, George.
Exactly what I just said. Oh, here we go.
That you, Goof?
That's me, man.
Turn
your radio.
Yes.
Turn the radio down there, young fella.
Oh, jeez. I'm going to get this again.
Here we go. That sounds a lot better.
Wrong button, boy.
Okay.
Well, boys, we almost had a fucking first call.
No, we do. I think
Turn down your radio, boys.
Stucco ceiling and all. Let's go. Here we go again. I think I fixed it.
What do you think that is?
It's your shitty app, bud. That fucking app is garbage. Every time I get in, it shuts off.
No, man. Here we go. Now it says you are at 99%, so you're good. I'm at 99. Ernest is at 97. French is at 97. So the 2 East Coasters, I'm assuming you're on the East Coast somewhere, we're at 99. You might be in Timbuktu. I have no idea.
Timbuktu.
So you're. Okay.
I gotta put the phone up to my ear, so just about do it like this.
Okay. Well, you're live, literally live right now.
Yeah, that sounds like your problem. Anyway, boss, I was heard you talking about the, I guess the income and the fair living wages and all that shit. So I wanted to chime in on that if I could.
Sure.
Go right ahead.
Well, I think your buddy in your top left corner, I never caught his name, he hit it in the corner, hit it right in the head there. It's the taxes. I mean, it's easy enough for the government to say we're gonna put up minimum wage, we're gonna put up minimum wage. But when you put up minimum wage, you got to put up everything else that goes along with it too, and you're paying down to that employee. So the burden gets passed from the government to the business. So while the government takes their big fancy raises and goes to work 2 or 3 days a week, 4 or 5 weeks out of the year, it's the small business owners that suffer, and as a result, the economy.
And they have to pass, of course, the increases, either laying somebody off or raising prices on whatever they're selling, whatever product they got.
Well, this is just it.
But like here's the thing that I find really funny is that the reason behind the increases in the wages and that it's more about wealth redistribution. That's one thing the government has in mind. The government doesn't seem to focus on what's important, and for me, it's about wealth creation. Because if you're just redistributing the wealth, you're not creating new wealth, and that's problematic for me. So,
well, I mean, you want to talk wealth redistribution. I mean, if he goes and puts up minimum wage, and most people that are renting are low income wage, minimum wage, etc. The first thing the landlords are going to do is turn around and take that money for themselves. So they're the ones that get the raise. Minimum wage increase without rent control or without some sort of housing controls is pointless, especially when you look at it in a city like Toronto.
Yeah, everybody's hand is out to get whatever they can, whether it be honorable or not. If they find out, they're going to want it. You got more. I wouldn't say disposable income. If you got even more income, period, there's someone coming after it.
Well, that's why the Bay of the North is such a project, see, because you get good high-paying wages jobs, you get all these extra spin-off jobs, and I don't think people really understand what spin-off economic benefits mean. But it's the restaurants, it's the hotels. It's the extra flights to the island, the cheaper flights that is, so the more tourists that come in to spend more dollars here. And that's the real key, is getting money from outside of the economy into the economy. And you don't get that by just raising minimum wage. All you do is drive up inflation. So you have to bring in people from outside. And the way you do that is by making people want to come here. And not just come here for the 3 nice days of weather they get per year that they film on those tourism commercials. It's for the jobs. It's for the standard of living. And most importantly, it's for the lower taxes. And that's the biggest driver of people moving. You look what's going on in California. All hands are fleeing it as a mass exodus because they can get cheaper taxes in other states. And meanwhile, what's left behind in California is a complete shithole. I know a fellow went down to Los Angeles a while ago. You tell me all about it. Shithole.
Yeah, there was a story I saw on, I can't remember what media it was, but ran into U-Haul trucks in California going, Texas and everywhere else. We actually ran into U-Haul trucks, and because there's none coming in, they're all going out and none coming in.
Well, that's just it, and that's why we got no rentals here. Because the thing about the rental vehicle crisis here is that the rental agencies don't keep vehicles that they're not using. They put them to other rental agencies, and that's why you can't get none here this year because tourism has been shit.
Yeah, well, that's a huge problem. And that's been a huge problem here for years. Not only since COVID, and but that's been going on for years and years. You come here, you can't get a friggin' unless you book years in advance or whatever, right? And so
or you lock out.
Yeah, be extremely.
Or you got a buddy whose car you can borrow for a bit too. I think I heard someone on Open Line talking about like what was it, like an Airbnb for cars?
Yeah, I heard that too. Say, geez, I wouldn't mind giving my car out for whatever. And if you can do that, fine. And if you can set that up somehow, perfect.
Oh, fucker stole my idea. I was going buying a bunch of used Cavaliers and doing that same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You could have
put your insurance up.
Well, it's a Cavalier. The insurance is not going to be much on that anyway.
Hey, man.
You put that street in Randy Leahy's name.
Corey Trevor and Trevor Corey.
Randy Corey Trevor Corey.
Bubbles, man. I dress up as Bubbles times for Mardi Gras. I love Trailer Park Boys, man.
But like I actually I gotta admit, I love economics. And I mean, this is one of the books I'm reading now. It's called The Other Path. And very, very good book. It's actually by a Peruvian economist. And the main thing about it here's the other problem, especially with Newfoundland, there's too much bureaucracy. You cannot. It's hard to have a business. It's hard to get established here. It's hard to really do anything. I remember when marijuana became legalized. Holy crap, we missed a huge opportunity.
What we did was we took all the people that had any knowledge of growing, any knowledge of distribution, any knowledge of marketing, and replaced it with a government bureaucracy who didn't have a fucking clue.
Yep. Well, they let people who didn't really smoke marijuana. Well, There's a couple who probably do, but I mean, there's probably there was a lot of those MHAs who didn't really understand kind of the laws around it, and so the government just kind of said, well, we could sit here, we could think about it, or we could just let the bureaucrats with the NLC kind of handle it. So they just threw it at them, and these geniuses, of course, like minimum prices. They're like, one thing I hate is minimum price for beer, and I don't agree with that one bit. I believe that the business, if you purchase the product, you can sell it as and that should be fine. The government should have nothing to do with it. But the reason the government wanted it to be at a set price, or at a set minimum price, I should say, is because they needed that kind of tax revenue.
Oh, this the shed show with Newfie. We got another caller coming in. Okay, you hang tight there. I'm not even going to give his name. His name popped up, but I'm not going to get. But we got someone else in the. But
I'm not going to be around much longer anyway. I can hold off and let him come on. You like?
No, I haven't figured that part out yet because, like I was saying, we're still a fledgling podcast. I'm not really sure the all ins and outs and stuff.
I only called in for pity anyway.
Oh well.
Well, I hope you like the show anyway so far.
No, of course. It's nice to have a Newfie talk show that isn't just liberal talking points all day long. But even if it was, I wouldn't care because at least I know it's not going to be only liberal talking points all day long. It's nice to hear different points of view and just a general conversation as a whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Mr. T, I'll call him Mr. T because it was one of the initials. You just hang tight there, buddy. We'll get you on in a second. And if you didn't have, so you clicked Moon Man, you clicked audio only, did you? Or did you have an option?
Yeah, I had to click audio only because otherwise I couldn't hear you. So I had to pretty much put it up to my ear, right? So there's no point in having a camera.
I mean, anyone's more than welcome to come on with their camera too if they want. But I'm just saying.
Well, if I had the laptop, I probably could, right?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So I just gotta. So we got one, and we got person in the lineup.
Oh yes, boy.
Oh, boy.
Eat your fucking heart out, Patty.
See, somebody had to go first. That's all that was.
Fuck the encore presentation.
Break the ice. Take the cherry of the calling.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I could make one last point, then I will get off when somebody else come on. Yep. You know, you want to talk about the sheer peaks of hypocrisy. Where did all these Sierra Club meetings get held to? These ones that are posed in the Beta Nord, it seems like every single one of their meetings are not held on Zoom or anything like that. They're all held at, well, they probably are now, but before they were always held at these big luxury resorts and these getaways and everything else. And I'm sure they weren't whitewater rafting their way up to the rivers to get onto these places.
No, man, I'm so sick of hearing that goddamn Bruno Marcocchio.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't understand why anybody's taking advice from people like the DiCaprio and all these fellas that are down there doing nothing else than talking shit about industries they don't know while they reap all the benefits from it. It's just like it's no different than Paul McCartney if he came on the CNN. Except he was wearing a sealskin hat, because that's the only difference. At least Paul McCartney never had a sealskin hat on. Unlike these fellas with their big yachts and their private planes going on talking to the rest of us about how we got to make do with less. Yeah, I'll make do with less when they make do with less, and even then, I'm not going to make do with less.
You know, just retrain. Stop being poor, that kind of shit, right? You see it everywhere. Sorry?
Retrain for what?
No, well, that was...
I mean, how many people does it take to... Oh, I know what you're saying, but I'm saying these people don't realize how much manpower goes into the difference of manpower and skill set between running an oil derrick or an oil rig or all the supply boats and everything else that goes along with that versus a solar farm or a windmill farm.
Yeah.
You don't need as many people. It's not as labor intensive. So you can go ahead and say, yes, it's a good thing because it's less energy and all that shit, but you can't turn around in the same breath and then say, well, just retrain for it. Because who are you retraining for? That's how you tell a 50-year-old skipper up the road who's been a rouseabout for the last 20, 30 years that he's going to retrain now as an electrical engineer on a solar farm. It's not happening.
Remember the big thing years ago, probably 12 to 15 or so, maybe. Remember the pellet plants that was going to take it? They're going to build this huge pellet plant in Newfoundland, and they're going to have all this work and pellet plants, pellet stoves for the wave of the future and all this old shit. And then they did some research on like the biggest pellet plant, I believe, in the world was in, I think it was Germany, and they only had like 8 employees because there's nothing to do. You load sawdust into a goddamn compactor, and it compacts into pellets, and you dry it and you put it in bags. You know what I
And
mean?
most of that's automated.
Yeah, exactly. And except for maybe a guy in a loader flicking sawdust into these hoppers, right?
Yeah.
But
Well, anyway, thanks for having me on, boys.
Sure, that died out pretty
No,
quickly.
anytime.
Oh yeah, man, thanks for calling, and maybe again sometime, eh?
Yes, I'm sure. Have a good one.
Reaching for the
Okay,
stars, man.
Later. See ya. Okay.
Keep reaching.
All right, now let's get this Mr. T on. I'll just call him Mr. T.
I pity the fool. I pity the fool who doesn't
here we
call
go.
in.
And be prepared, man. If your camera's on by mistake, if you don't want it on.
Yeah, you better not have your
Oh,
dicky
it is
bird out or anything.
Oh, I think I know that guy.
Oh,
Maybe not though.
why do we have the dicky bird out?
No, God.
What happens at camp stays at camp, I suppose.
I like the salt and pepper cap though. Or,
Hear me over there.
We can hear you just
Oh.
fine.
Oh,
I
you
can hear
me
him.
just fine.
Would you call that a
That's
salt and
good.
pepper? Or would you call that a tam, a Scottish tam? Which one? What would you call that?
Oh, this is
It
a
has.
Peaky Blinder hat. So is this the Newfie show with the sheds? Can I get
Yes,
Fat
it is.
Bottom Girls
Yes, it
playing?
is.
Oh, I know who
Yep.
this is.
See, I thought so. I know who it is too.
Yeah.
On.
Oh, Jesus, that's warm. It's worth the joke.
Scarf inside. That's pretty.
Yeah, well, I was trying to hide my face. So... No, I mean, I heard you guys talking, so I said I'm going to call in. I told Brad I'm going to ask for fat bottom girls. You know, it's the Newfie show with a shed.
Yep.
Yeah. Wait, where's the snook signs?
Oh,
I don't know. Hey, man, listen. You got the best thing. You got me.
Yeah,
That's the best snook of all.
I'm pretty sure Ernest got the Lord Diamond in the background.
Don't get me started on that one, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that touched on that
So-
in the last episode.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So you guys were just talking about the fracking here on the West Coast. So I might as well talk about that. I went to one of the meetings. Me and my buddy Sterling. Biggest meeting they had. Tom Marshall was out. Andrew Parsons. George Murphy, of course, getting his standing applause for saying I hate fracking. God rest his soul, of course.
Yeah.
100%. He was a good guy.
And,
George
yeah,
was.
he was a great guy. I really liked him.
Yeah.
But I walk into this meeting, and it's supposed to be fracking awareness. Is what they call it, fracking awareness. Learn the facts about fracking. It was an ambush.
Oh yeah.
And they looked at me. I'm in there with my buddy Sterling, and I don't know if Ernest knows Sterling. And they look at me, and they're like, will you sign this petition to stop fracking? I was like, no. And then Sterling was like, that's the rudest thing I've ever seen, as we were both walking away, and he never even bothered to answer them if he would sign a petition to stop it. So the whole thing was just an ambush. The people that were behind it, the anti-frackers, was a conversation I had with Stelman Flynn a few years ago. He said, they're so big. They're everywhere. Every meeting you have, they're there. I was like, but it's the same 40 people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, that happens a lot. I guess, right?
And they're all retired or they're working for the public service.
So is it the petition? Are you? And it's none of my business. I'm just asking for clarification. Are you fracking, or
I'm
are
pro
you just there
fracking,
to
but
see
it never worked in Port-au-Port because the infrastructure wasn't there for starters. You
Yeah.
need a pipeline. You know, somebody wants to get on
Did
this.
a rail be nice?
Yeah.
And
So
like I
you
was saying,
need
I work with some guys from Stephenville Crossing, and we were actually at the job site, and I asked them about it, and they said, no way do we want this to go through because of the water table, and they said their main concern was the potential of their water table just being void beyond repair. And that was
The water table that way is already pretty much destroyed.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
So-
See, I'm completely ignorant on the ins and outs of West Coast Newfoundland. I drove a couple of times to get to the ferry, and that's about it. As far, drove
I mean,
through.
Hey,
Sure.
listen. We're worth the detour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got real Domino's pizza.
We do.
True.
Pretty good.
A lot, actually.
Oh, fucking.
So-
It's good, man. Listen, you come over here. I'm gonna get you. Me and Mr. T will go half and half on a slice of combination for you.
I don't share.
Aren't there down airs like amazing too or something? I don't like down airs. What I hear people
Yeah,
talking about.
they're amazing.
They're all right.
You won't.
They're all
You won't
right.
go hungry.
No.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
So the whole thing is to make it work. They had to build a new road, which they weren't going to do. I even looked at people and said right away, "I was like, listen, I support fracking, but guess what? The only place it works in Newfoundland and Labrador is the Bay of Islands, and the Bay of Islands supported it. And the other places they were looking at, I didn't support it in. I think it was close to Gross Moor. They were looking at,
Yeah. It was up near there. Yeah.
Yeah. So the value trade off there of tourism versus oil and gas, that's one of our top 3 tourist spots.
Yep.
Stevensville's not a tourist spot.
No.
And the Port is a beautiful area, not a tourist spot, especially where they were looking at. But the problem was the roads were already shit, and nobody ever talked about fixing the roads. It was a one-way that you would have to travel via road. If you're talking about having a pipeline there or anything else to transfer it, plus you had a junior company that never did it before, I'm pretty sure that the people that were looking at this are the same people that are looking at our airport right now, that have been looking at our airport for the last couple of months. They're the same people that were looking at Pete Moss 20 years ago. They're the same people. Constantly the same people. They looked at an offshore drilling. It had the most oil here.
Are you talking about CQB?
I think it was CQB. I can't remember. I'd have to
Yeah.
talk to Paul Grant. So I knew people that were on this when they drilled for it, and they couldn't cap it. It was that difficult to cap because there's that much oil. But there was a junior company just looking at stock.
Are you sure you're not? The name that comes to mind is because I bought stock in. It was a West Coast drilling company years ago, and I'm talking 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Canadian Imperial Venture. That's another name.
I think that's the one because
Canadian
a lot of people
Imperial
got
Venture,
scammed on it.
So well, I don't know about scam, but their stock went to close to $1 or over, and now it's at 0.005, not point.
Yeah.
Well,
so what that was when they found the oil, the stock topped up.
Yep.
And that's when they capped it because they got what they wanted because they couldn't actually afford to do the work.
They did their own pump and dump. You're saying? Is that
was this around
pump and cap?
Was this time back when Petro Canada and shit, they were doing a lot of exploration on the island back in the 70s and 80s? Was that around this time?
No, it was
Jerome Kennedy was a minister.
Yeah, this is like.
So they probably uncapped their fucking test wells, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember because I remember that they had that big hotel built out there, and I remember that because they had the what was it, the deep fried ice cream. I remember that was a big thing they offered out there at the time. Yeah, I know, but I mean, when you're young and you're going out to this, it was a huge hotel though. It was huge. It was out on the Port Peninsula, out where they were doing the drilling. Yeah. I think it's somebody's house now.
That was Campbell's that owned that.
You say it was that huge, and now it's somebody's house. You say?
So there was 2 hotels that were out there. One's owned by Peter Fenwick, still open. It's a bed and breakfast, basically. And the other was right at the end. No, he was done this year. I think Sarah Rose.
Oh, okay. Okay, right on.
Yeah.
The only reason I know that
got the most votes.
I watched this. It was a debate from 1979. And Peter Fenwick was in there, and Randy Sims was one of the moderators.
Yeah, Fenwick was NDP leader.
Yeah, and I brought it up at work, and one of the guys was like, "Did you say Peter Fenwick?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Geez, he's our mayor." And
he's the only politician in Canadian history that got more colors and socks than him is Jean Charest.
More colors and socks?
Yeah,
Trudeau's up there too, man.
No. What I'm saying is that they've been with every party.
I know. I was only kidding.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Jumping around.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm not going to say his name. Actually, he's a
fuck it.
Provincial. No, I'm not going to.
Fuck it.
Because I like the guy. I'm not going to say it.
But no, like yeah, I remember that whole thing. I know some people who lost a fair bit of money off of that.
Well. I didn't lose a whole bunch. I bought a few as I was just getting into stocks in.
The biggest investment out this way that people lost money on, and I guess we won't count what we're spending in terms of government money on the airport. But personal investment that you got to take the risk on, but all the information isn't there that you probably should have waited. The biggest one is when we built a ski pine tree.
Oh God!
So
What?
this was
I've never heard of it before.
because in '95 or '96 I'm in an entrepreneurship class, and I won't say the owner's name. He's infamous around the area. So he comes in to give a presentation to us, and he says where he's putting the ski hill. And my buddy who's a skidooer looks at him. Sure, but there's no snow that goes on that side.
Oh my fuck!
So he, he took a lot of money off people on the Border Peninsula down towards Point of Mall all the way. And
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
we're looking at, to me, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am. We're looking at some kind of anti-Delvey fund right now. We're looking at another ski pine tree. Pete's there. Pete Soucy's there.
Pete Soucy. No, it's not.
That's
It's not
that's
Pete
who
Soucy,
played
but
that.
he. You can come over and get on if you want.
Oh, special
Gotta
guest
watch.
appearance.
Oh, that's the celebrity.
You're going to bed? Oh, all right. Good night. All right, buddy.
That's D. Snyder's.
See you tomorrow.
That's D. Snyder's son, is it?
Yes, he got lots of videos out. D. Snyder. Yeah. And the shout out video I hid for D. Snyder says, "Hey man, it's pretty cool, right?"
But
Anyways, go back
there's
to
a
your
lot
point.
of there's a lot of things about Steamboat Port Peninsula that have a lot of potential.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that also opens us up to people who might take advantage of that. Now, I'm not going to say any names. There's certain things that are buzzing around us or supposedly buzzing around us lately that I know that I'm sure Mr. T here has seen me speak about.
Yeah.
And
A lot
a
of
few
people
other.
have been droning on about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little. Slightly.
How's that new fire hall working out, though? I thought ground was supposed to be broken, boys.
Yeah, that was supposed to be it. The $10 million fire hall that they're definitely working on. I gotta be honest, I you know what, I gotta talk about it, Mr. T, if you don't mind if I say a few things. The boys don't either.
Before you does that, I'm just going to interject a quick second.
Sure.
I got 2 coffees gone in a big water. I just got to. Yeah, I'll be back in a second. So just hang tight.
No problem.
All right.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to call in, so I didn't have a beer on me, so I'm kind of feeling a little like, what's the point?
But
I got a beer here.
Yeah, I can't have any beer on the show, and then I'll ramble on even more than I did earlier. But I was just rambling because I literally was waiting for everyone to call in.
Yeah. Well, you're a professional rambler now.
Check that out, Adam.
What am I checking out? I
got a
can't see
picture up
nothing.
on my head.
I don't even see you. I
don't even see him either.
No,
I don't even see you in the room. I just hear you. I've just wondered where you're coming from. Are you talking to Goofs through Skype or something?
I'm on the Riverside thing that you tried to figure out. And
weird, because I don't see you here, and
I don't either.
That's crazy.
But
you got your FFAW posters up there?
Hmm?
You got your FFAW posters up there?
Oh, you want some?
Oh, I got some here, but they're all they're meant for darts.
But no,
before.
If you ever want to see what happens to them, I was going to say, go ahead, Ernest. I was just going to say, if you ever want to see what happens when you hire Modern Humanities and the people who are against Bait and Order, if you want to see what happens to the economy, you compare the Nova Scotia fishery to the Newfoundland and Labrador fishery, because that's how bad they are. They're just incompetent. I lived in St. John's for almost 5 years. I know lots of great people in town. Old school townies are our favorite people. They're in the top 5 of the toughest people in this province. Port Bass #1.
Yep.
All right. I had a conversation with Art Berry tonight about crazy stories at the Bruce Arena. Right?
Oh God, is there many of those?
There's very few people I won't trade hockey stories with, but Art Berry's one of them.
Art knows too. Trust me. I'll say that he damn well knows. But I mean,
this group at FFAW now, they were everything's gonna get so much better when Dave leaves. Got worse, and now they want to do a protest on Monday because Earl McCurdy's being called the hypocrite he is. Tough. You guys got a $3 pound difference in crab. That's almost 200 million that's out of our rural economy.
Holy fuck. I've been so fucking pissed off with the fucking crowd at FFAW. and the garbage they spew, I've not even paid attention to them since I've been up fucking Ontario because it just fucking makes my blood boil.
Well,
Oh yeah, I know.
it's funny because there's a guy in Ontario, Dean Baxley. I follow him on Twitter, and every now and then I agree with something he says. Sometimes I don't, but I don't need to agree with someone 100%. That's not my politics. I'm either liberal or BZ. I'm all over the place. Andrew Parsons once said, "I don't know where you're coming from on any issue, and I like it." So, but the FFAW, right? Like, oh my God, we can't believe Jerry Diaz did this. Like, really? Really? You can't believe Jerry Diaz did this? He looks close to you in a lot of pain. You don't think Lana's
Oh man, and that's another whole can of worms, man.
Lana's gotten how many free trucks?
Yeah.
Who's got free trucks?
Wait for Goof to come back and.
Yeah, then I'll talk about the
or Diamond.
No, yeah. Well, listen, man. Listen, this is Dubai with the apostrophe Y. This is what we are going to be here. We're going to be Dubai, or Abu Dhabi or something like that. You know, it's either one of those two kind of a things. And there he is.
There he is.
I gotta say this, like, everything about this whole announcement that they made in September, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, I have some basic understanding of economics. I'm not an expert, of course. And same thing with kind of infrastructure. Like, I'm sure that Mr. T knows I do a lot of reading. That's mostly the only thing I do. I work and I read. Yeah, no, and I do fun podcasts all over the place. So, you know, I'm here and there. But the thing about it is that when they announced this, it was going to be like, we're going to have a couple thousand jobs done up. It's going to be starting hiring really soon. We're going to really ramp it up, and it's going to be big investments all over the place. And we talked about this in the last episode too, when we had Dale Kirby on, because I wanted to get a cabinet minister's kind of perspective on it, and he didn't disagree when I said it was kind of strange that no provincial minister showed up to this, because usually those are the free food is enough to get those guys to come over and go. Now, Mr. T, I would ask Andrew Parsons, but he has blocked me because of the time that he was talking about how everyone has to bear he feels the pain of the people who are with the gas prices, and I said it's kind of hard to feel that when you're getting a reimbursement.
So with Andrew, with the tip of information that's come out about this company, Crocker has the right to make every announcement. There is no government free of government. Everything this guy has said is a scam. It's misleading. I've read the tip of information. Steve Crocker has the right to be out here for anything. If Steve Crocker wants to be part of Tom Rose and Carl Diamond's Zoom call with construction workers, Steve Crocker can be. He's just not here. And I know he knows where the place is. He loves our fried foods. I know this because he looked at me. He's like, I had to bring you Chester fried chicken. You know what it's like to drive 20 minutes with Chester fried chicken? Right? So, you know, and I can't blame Andrew for not wanting to be here. This guy's dropping his name all over the place when he's never met the man.
I know.
He's dropped so many names of people I personally know that I've checked in on. They've had no interaction with this guy. You know, it takes more than a cheap suit from the Salvation Army to impress me.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, if we look at this through kind of like, we compare what he says and then with kind of an economic reality. Yeah. In order to get this community ramped up to the point where it can handle all the population increases and the material needs to build these drones and that, you're going to have to literally expand the main street or build a whole new main street. You're going to have to build lots of new housing, which I believe was supposed to be originally up around, I think it was like Igloo Road. That was supposed to be one of the areas that they were eyeing as part of the bigger development.
They're giving that to the Halapu Business Park now, I believe.
Oh, yes, they are. Now I'm fine with that. I love kind of this economic.
Look at this.
Oh,
right from the guest room right on in. But that which is
geez.
fine. Old Crow. You there, Mr. Crow?
Yes, sir. That I am.
Okay. Well, you all right? Just hang tight for a sec. We'll let Mr. T finish his thought there, and we'll
Yes,
see what
go
you
ahead,
have to say.
because I've been a couple of minutes just trying to get hooked up. Go ahead.
Okay, buddy, right on.
But,
all right. Okay,
but,
guys, you were saying?
Yeah, no. I was just going to say, like the whole kind of gaggle of issues here is that none of it makes sense. I mean, the workforce required, it takes a lot of time to get in. It takes a lot of time to get them moved in, settled, families, everything like that. That's one thing. The infrastructure, that's a big thing. And I mean, this town does not have the infrastructure in place to accommodate an extra couple thousand people within the next year or two. We just don't. And Mr. T can probably agree with me on the other thing, because recently there was another NTV article out, or NTV episode, or whatever it is, like a clip, I guess, with Don Bradshaw, where our mayor is talking about bringing in the Ukrainians. Now, I'm not against that one bit, but I mean, the reality of it is that we don't have the infrastructure to take people in. As much as that sucks for me to say, we just don't.
I was at somebody's house when I heard him say that, and him talking about the amount of Ukrainians that we already have that can help out. It's 4. You know, it's 4 people that speak this language, and one of them's a youth.
It's well, there is a few people around here like Maidstone and that too, but I mean, like kind of, I guess, so we can kind of move it to Old Crow and that after. I just want to say, like, everything about this whole airport deal doesn't really make sense, and the way that they're trying to kind of keep people from talking about it, keep people from being interested in it, is getting a bit crazy. And I mean, what really bothered me about it, especially, was when the mayor comes out on the Appellation and calls people naysayers and delusional. And he didn't even say it the right way. He called them delusionalists, which, I mean,
he also
that
didn't know
kind
what
of
e-commerce was, so you know what?
I know. There's been several blunders.
But Karma bit the Appellation on that because they're no longer in business.
Well, yeah, I know. But I mean, like, nothing about this makes sense, and it makes me sad because, like, as you know, when I ran for council, I was hitting doors, you know, and I had a lot of people, and I said this on the other episode too. Like, I had a lot of people asking me about this. I had one guy, a friend of mine. I went to his door, and he said, like, I turned down a good job in Ontario. Did I make a mistake? And honestly, I looked at him. I said, "Yeah, I think you did." And he was hurt. And I mean, it's still, like, to this day, that bothers me. Like, I'm never getting on, into public office, I'd say. But I mean, it's still something that I want to see. Either want this to go through, as they say it does. It's very doubtful that it will, of course. And if it doesn't, I believe that the people who cause the speculation have to have some form of responsibility. And I made a video on my personal Facebook about this, talking about how, you know, the mayor is responsible for a certain amount of speculation, because I mean, that caused people to change plans. It caused people to sell homes and move here. You know, it caused people to turn down jobs elsewhere for this. And there has to be some kind of responsibility. I mean, if there has to be a resignation, even. And that's just what I think. I'm not sure what you think, Mr. T, but
Well, you just look at our housing market.
I know.
So for a while, it was 300,000 for a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, no backyard. You know, the housing went through the roof. Same as, you know, you don't look directly at what the government's saying. Like, if you look at other thing, you look at other avenues. What is going up? What's going down? So right now, our housing market has crashed. Nobody can sell a home and save their life because what was said was going to happen. Right now, we're supposed to be looking at 1,800 jobs, I believe. Everything this man has said hasn't come true. He promised that we would see a dome that was built at the airport. He said that about 6 months. He said you'll see this in 2 weeks. That was 6 months ago. Each and every time that the word that the timeline is up, it gets extended, and now taxpayers are on the line again for it. And if the council ends up seeing me saying all this, and they're not going to confront me because they'll confront somebody with a soft heart that they think they can manipulate, but they can't manipulate them because they're seeing right through, and they're not going to come at me because I don't change my viewpoint like that. I'm like, this is me being professional. I haven't cursed.
I know, and it's the same as me though. Like it's the same with me. Like if they think that they're going to kind of influence me or kind of push me to change, I'm not, because I have nothing to really lose. Nothing's really going to affect me, and I'm sincere in this. I don't think nothing about this adds up. And I got to say this: for as much as I give the CBC a bit of grief sometimes, they've done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Sorry?
And it's especially strange since there's Colleen Connors, and she was one of the ones responsible for one of the worst hatchet jobs that was done in this town to 4 young children that it should never have been in the news. That was Colleen Connors.
But I gotta say though, for this time, like Troy Turner and Rob Antland, they did a fantastic job with the research on this. They've been fantastic.
Yeah, nobody's heard of this guy.
No, they haven't. Like even I've made phone calls up to Ontario, and no one in the Chamber of Commerce where this guy lives knows who he is. They've never heard of him. The town office of where he lives, never heard of him.
Who are we talking about now? The company, the owner of the company, of the
letterhead, the name on the letterhead. It's probably a better way to put it.
I'm kind of in the dark and I'm fresh. There's two of the boys from the same spot. I guess they know about it more.
Because
I'm trying not to say names.
I know. Good. But I thought you went. I don't know. I thought I heard you say something about fucking murder or something, and then you went to something else.
No, he said hatchet job, but But I guess we can. I guess is there anything else you want to say, Mr. G? Because I mean, I know Old Crow here has been waiting a bit patiently, so we might want to.
Oh, I'm just
I'm just listening. I'm just listening. All I know about Stephenville area is went to trade school there back in 1980, I think it was. I remember White's Motel and Terry's Disco, and I had a ball.
Terry's Disco.
I don't know if it's still
White's
there.
is now Dreamcatcher, and I think Terry's is
long gone.
I guess that would be the Manhattan, wouldn't it?
That
would be right before Domino's, Old Crow.
I remember Domino's down there. That was the first time I ever had Domino's pizza. Not as good as Papa John's pizza, in case somebody recognizes
oh man,
Papa John's.
No,
I just replied to you. I know this guy. And, we used to work together and eat pizza, man. And oh my god, it was the best. And they used to give you this little thing of garlic butter in with every pizza. And it was the best tasting thing ever.
I'll tell you, best
pizza
I had
thing
was,
you put in your mouth.
Yeah.
Best pizza I had was in Pictou County, Peter McKay's hometown. It was absolutely
jeez. Yeah, we even stopped to Lick a Chick. Remember that?
Oh yeah, Lick a Chick, man. That's a necessary stop.
And deluxe fish and chips. Yeah, and the deluxe fish disappointment, but the Lick a Chick. It's good
Lick a Chick is golden. I
love
Lick a Chick.
Hey, Crow, do you remember what the best part was on that drive where we stopped? Remember the farmer's market?
Oh, gee, yes. I remember that.
Hospital, it was a mom and pop spot just called the farmer's market, and they had like 4 daughters. And it wasn't called the farmer's daughters. I'm sorry,
the farmer's daughters.
The farmer's daughters. Yeah, it was a mom and pop kind of thing, and they had 4 daughters that worked there.
The movie they named that once.
Huge spot, man. They were all absolutely good.
It was a combination. Craft shop. It was souvenirs. It was food.
They had this whole like vegetables and
potted one-stop shopping.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what a spot! We had to just stop him, get the kids a little thing.
Anyway, that's our plug for those places.
Yes. Yeah.
All right,
listen, I was wondering. on Twitter lately.
Yep.
Actually, I'm on there probably every day. But
No.
what do you think? What do you think everybody is talking about? I know, but everybody they're saying, "Well, get out of the oil and gas and go into green energy." And I've been asking them, like, okay, I'll go, I'll play a game. What jobs do I apply for? Where do I get training? How much do I make? And I can't get answers from any of them.
Well,
No, and
those
it's not
answers
only
were
that.
down in Texas.
Green energy. How about hydro?
Can I try-
No, not that green energy. Hydro doesn't
No,
count.
pipe fitting is out, I guess.
So
Well, I seen someone the other. I think I messaged Goof on it, and he hates hydro. Okay, I don't like Crown Corporation, so I guess we got a bit in common. But that's just a philosophical difference on my part. He doesn't want oil and gas. So then you're talking about wind and solar. Listen, it's been done. It's called Germany. There's a reason that Russia has so much money, right? And Sierra Club. Who's paying the Sierra Club? That just came out in the American report. They're getting money from Russia.
Is that him cutting his nails?
Cutting that mop. Cutting that mop.
Yeah.
So
and like, well, nuclear's out. No, but
nuclear is the cleanest energy.
Yes, yeah, and you think I remember back in the late '80s when I was back in grade 2 and 3, and the scourge of the earth was nuclear energy. Oh my God, it's going to kill us all, and it's the dirt of the dirt. Get rid of it all, and now, 30 years later,
they're back at it again because it is fucking clean.
And some are saying, "No, oh my God,"
Boy,
because if you don't do wind or solar, there's nothing else you can do, and that's it. Right, or the one in is it the Bay of Fundy to get that tide?
Yeah, that was absolutely brutal on the fishery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we've seen the tides in Bay of Fundy.
Oh man, beautiful out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, what job do I apply for, and what training do I have to take? Do I have to be an engineer, or like what do I have to be? What training do I have to take?
Well, one of the rallying cries is
nobody
just
retrain.
Listen, I got a simple. And this is me talking through them now. Listen, simple. Just retrain. That's all you got to do is retrain.
Yeah. That's the answer, right?
That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But they don't tell me what trade, where to take it, how much I'm going to make.
You're gonna make about 40% less.
And they don't tell me another thing too is because say if somebody over 55. Okay, they got to take a new training, which might take a year or two. Then may have to go through an apprenticeship. So by the time he gets all that done, they're getting close to retirement age, and nobody wants to hire them because they're going to retire in a couple of years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boys, we got another one in the.
All right. Well, I'll
I'm
drop
just
off.
going to let you know another one in the queue. Mortal
All right.
Kombat.
Thanks, Mr.
I'll
T.
just call him Mortal Kombat. You're going, you say?
If I can stay on, I will.
Oh yeah, you can stay in if you like. We can have another. We're just giving.
So I was watching the election last election, that never-ending 10-week election, that totally advocated Eddie Joyce for his opinion of Bruce Chalk. Has there ever been anyone more right about a person than Eddie Joyce's opinion on Bruce Chalk? Every single time they pushed something back on that election, Eddie looked even more like a genius. So I went to someone. So I was in the news for help people that would get their ballots, and there's one fella I went to, and he called their office and said, "Yeah, that guy in the Harry Hibbs hat was by." I was like, "Harry Hibbs? Oh man, that's Peaky Blinders. Come on."
I've never been. I've never seen the show. What's the guy's name? Peaky Blinders again. He was the Scarecrow in Batman.
Oh, Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy.
Okay.
Cillian Murphy. He's absolutely amazing in the show. Well, he's one of my favorite actors anyway. I never got mentioned, but St. John's was mentioned in the season premiere this year. Usually there's about 3 days worth of CBC stories when they do that.
The only time I've ever seen Peaky Blinders is when I turned the TV on to see something else and I happened to be on there and I just recognized the guy. Because I don't watch any TV other than Tony Marie for 10 minutes. Switch it over to
Who don't?
But
She
yeah.
graduated from Stevensville, by the way.
She
Did she?
graduated in Stephenville.
Yeah, she did journalism here when they had a journalism here.
Oh, right on.
oh yeah, we used to have a lot of things here. We used to have the music program, and that was the only time that like the open mics were fantastic because of that.
Yeah.
I mean, like that was the good old days. Like that was when I first actually that was when I got out of high school. Actually, that's when they still had it, and man, it was some good times. Me and like a bunch of other guys just to go doing some songs. I even did one once about a certain bar here in Stephenville that is it's named after a hat. I'm not going to say what it is, but we all know what I'm talking about. And it is brown.
Brown.
Shit.
Brown hat.
Derby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I didn't mind like the music industry understood us leaving. Like, I mean, I was friends with most of the guys that went through that. They had a couch down in their classroom and everything, right? Like they had they would take afternoon naps and oh, I'm not even kidding. Like, you know,
French is on the
and
weed.
you know, there's the only person that I'm aware of that actually stayed with music after came from a musical family. He's you know, great guy, John Boy Walsh at Marystown.
Oh yeah.
If you ever get a chance to listen to what he's playing, you know, him and his missus, they do a really good job, and he's well known in the music industry throughout town. That Ward Pike has some involvement, but I don't think he was involved with the course. But they're just
Ward Pike from St. John's.
yeah, I think he's
I
involved
don't
with
know
it
him
now.
well, but all I know is that my cousin did this rap kind of thing, and I know Ward approached him about it, but nothing came
Ward's
to
highly
fruition, I don't
respected
think.
in our music industry.
Oh yeah.
When CBC tried to poach some recording, and they had Alan Doyle. If you guys remember that, the CBC story, and Alan Doyle was pumping this out, you know. And then all of a sudden, Ward spoke out against it, and Alan just went, "Nope, not taking him on." And because they're about to kill small business, and you know, I mean, for 2 years now, we've watched small business get absolutely eviscerated, and people are like, "Oh,
Oh
they
my
get 10K.
God, yes.
They get 10K a month." It's like that's what they make in a week, right?
Yeah.
That's what
Like
Domino's
there's
makes in an afternoon, right? That's what Domino's makes on selling subs,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. But I
That's
mean,
what
like business is way down. Like and the thing
up
is
now.
that even with this, what I'm sorry.
It's starting to get up now.
It's starting, but honestly, like I work in kind of sales and that, and it's this time of the year. I remember last year I would have, or like I shouldn't say last year, like 2 years ago I would have been pretty damn busy. Now it's down, like, and it's noticeable. And as we see the prices go up, and I mean, like I know me and Lenny did couple episodes with this where we were talking with the Canadian Taxpayers Federation about like the prices and the cost of living in that. But one of them was about the fuel taxes, and I mean, like that's 40 cents on the fuel, and I mean, like when
Tax on
yeah.
tax, which should never be allowed in a million goddamn years. A tax on a tax is bullshit.
It
That's what it
it
is.
really is, but I mean, like the thing is that like I see the impact of it because I mean, like a lot of my clientele come from the Port Peninsula, and I mean, and they drive trucks. They like their trucks, and
Oh,
you're
pickups, you
not
mean?
gonna go. Oh yeah, they like
I
their
don't
F.
know if you meant semis or not.
No. But like there's a few guys who got the F-350s.
They said they like
I
subs.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's scary. I wouldn't. Me personally, I wouldn't be able to get an F-350 just to drive around in because
More power to them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like if they want to do it, me personally, I wouldn't. But I mean, I don't have trailers and stuff to haul around and or anything like that. But I mean, you notice it when as the prices have gone up, my clientele is going to drop down because the boys don't want to go out and fill up their tanks, just drive out Stephenville. They don't want to do that.
Snowmobiling dealing's down this year. Talking
Oh
to a
my,
fella on Sunday. You know, ATV riding's going to be down, so we're going to have a come home year.
Well,
And
I mean,
what do
April
people
1st
come
is
home
only
for?
7 days from today. Carbon tax goes up 25%, 11 cents more on the price of gasoline. Just automatically overnight, bang, done like that.
more cash for Cody.
Yeah. So hey, old crow, there. Did you have else to, because I know you didn't get a whole bunch of airtime, but I know you're.
No, that's fine. I'm just getting her figured out. I think you got a great show on the go here, and it is wonderful to be able to take part in it. And
a regular thing now. Our schedules,
yes.
like French, they're operating, and he could be all over the board 24 hours.
Adam,
yes, and I'm looking forward to it.
On
and he's French is a wonderful guy. I appreciate the bit of humor he brings into. Well, the only way I know him is through Twitter.
Yeah,
and I appreciates the bit of humor he brings into it. I appreciate your input into Twitter also, because you're usually unbiased, with a little bit of swing, but I mean I love it. I love this show. Yeah. Now, hopefully, maybe you will get Patty Daly on there someday and show him how it's done
on a Friday night. That's probably not a wise idea.
I wouldn't hold my breath. I didn't say that, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that. But
no.
The question Old Crow asked on the pay, I've seen Texas elected officials answer that. It's about 40% less from oil and gas to what they're calling green energy.
Yeah.
You know, if we asked anybody that's paid by the public tax dollar to take a 40% pay cut, we're looking at some massive strikes.
Oh yeah.
But we're going to ask the private sector. I mean, I don't know if Adam remembers, but there's a debate me and Jeff Marshall had. Jeff Marshall, best guy in the province. And it was public sector work versus private sector work. And my point was, I'm not saying anything about your pay. What I'm saying is you're an expense.
Yeah.
You're red ink. 100% of what you get paid is from the public. We might get 40% back, but we're still losing 60%. Versus private sector, whether you get paid $12 an hour, whether you get paid $30 an hour, whether you get paid $100K a year, all your taxes, as long as you're not subsidized by the government, that's pure revenue. That's black ink.
Yeah.
That's revenue. So I want to up my revenue, and I want to expenses. But we're the weirdest province in the world. Lenny Tiller once said that we are the most conservative province. We are a province that absolutely thinks government can't get anything right. Yeah, we're also a province that demands more government.
Yes, we do.
So let's pick a lane.
We got 2 in the queue. Get that.
God.
Good. You got Brad Byrne, who loves regionalization, who doesn't want a regionalization.
No, well, neither one of them gives a real name, but I wouldn't imagine. Brad's probably at the gym right now.
Taking selfies. Wait, I gotta tell him that. All right, just said you don't want regionalization.
Yeah. Don't, Mr. T. Don't. Let's not get into the regionalization. You've probably seen my episode on that. The 2 episodes I made on that. But yes, I'm not a big fan of regionalization as it currently presented.
Well, the problem is it's just two tax bills.
Ask a question.
Sure.
I just like to ask a question. I'm not up on it all. But is regionalization kind of like amalgamation or a county system or what?
It's a county system.
Yeah, it's more like the county system, but it being done by the Newfoundland government means it's about 18,000 times more incompetent than anything anyone else has ever made.
Well, no doubt.
Well,
but here I am in the community, and I'm paying $1,500 a year in property tax.
Yeah.
And a community 3 miles up the road pays nothing.
Yeah.
And he gets the roads plowed through the Department of Highways.
Yep.
So how is it wrong for me to be against it?
Oh, it's not. But your community can also charge tipping fees to and a different kind of tax, like if they're using the services. We used to do that here in Steamville to communities that were outside of us.
But those communities got everything. Those communities got everything they need. They got a fire department.
Yeah.
They got the government last year gave a water grant, water to the town, and they're getting all these services, and I'm getting none. And right away at January 1st of every year, I'm $1,500 in the hole, and they're zero.
So yeah, the way the regionalization program is set up, because they had this session a few years ago, and there's a walkout in Steenville. I was one of the ones who walked out.
Oh, I remember
My
that.
reasons, yeah, my reasons for walking out were not the same as the mayor of Kippens and the entire Kippens council when they did get along. That was so long ago. Now it's hard to remember, but it did happen at one point. My reasons were it was 2 tax bills. So you would pay your $1,800 a month or $1,800 a year. You would still pay that. But then you would get your regionalization tax bill, which is probably going to be, which I don't know what area you're in. Okay, I'm going to go with French. French lives near a ferry. And I'm pretty sure that the way they had his region set up was he would include Fogo Island Ferry. The goal with their regionalization was to download the ferries on us. In my region, they were trying to download Ramsey Ferry. I looked at them because I like to look ahead at all the stuff that's going on. And I said, hold on now. I lived in the Avalon. Why are you guys including the Southern Shore in the St. John's? They're not going to get jack shit. Every single thing is going to go to St. John's, and Mount Pearl is going to be lucky to get anything. And they're like, well, we're not supposed to answer that. I was like, you're trying to download a ferry on these people too, because you're including Belle Isle. And then they were like, well, this isn't what this session's for. I was like, then what's the session for if it's not to answer my questions? Because these are my questions. If you're trying to download a ferry on the people because you're too cowardly to be a Newfoundlander, be a Newfie, I feel like Brad Byrne is channeling me right now because I'm talking about ferries. But if you don't want to make the cuts into that, but you just want to download it onto regionalization and have that elected government be the villain because there's no way they can afford it, that's not good governance.
No, it's on to the backs of the taxpayers.
Yeah. So in my view, we need to force amalgamation. We need to make that community that's taking either your municipality sends a tax bill to them that says this is what you're paying if you want to be going in and using our services.
Yeah.
If they want to jack up the fire services, go ahead. I got no problems with it. Ernest is gone. If you got a hockey stadium and you want to say, oh, you're from Goofyville, right? You're from Goofyville, and you're from Gooftown, and you don't pay any taxes like we do. Well, if you want to rent our stadium, you're spending 5 times as much as somebody from our town whose taxes pay for the stadium. I got no problems with that. Nova Scotia actually does it. Nova Scotia got the guts to do it. I noticed in Pictou County, they got a Pictou County regional center that every single community but one chipped in for. And that one community that did, they had to pay more to use it.
Yeah.
Well, the situation I'm in now is I'm in Trinity Bay South.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. We got no stadiums, no ferries, no nothing. And
strong fishery though.
Well, yeah, fairly strong. Used to be stronger, but we got a lot of communities up and down this shore not paying their fair share, not paying nothing. They're paying $60 a year for garbage tax.
Yeah.
That's it. And here I am paying $1,500, and the highways truck. Sorry, Adam, I know you drive snowplow, but the highway truck passed along by the main highway. That's it.
So I would that people don't ask about why do we have to pay so much in taxes? Why can't that get lowered?
Yeah, I would like to see the other communities pay their fair share, and maybe mine won't go up, or maybe it will go down. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive.
Well, the way
taxes will never go down.
No, exactly. No, the way they're talking, it seems like everybody's is going to go up.
Yeah, but it's called passing the buck. That's what it should be called, I should say. And like I said, like everything can kind of be addressed just by kind of changing certain legislation. But for some reason, the government just puts the cart before the horse and just says, okay, I know we could give further powers to the LSDs and LSDs and give them those same powers. I know we can empower joint councils to make kind of decisions on economic development and kind of combined planning. But we're not going to do any of that. We're just going to take it. We're just going to take all these things, throw it against the wall, say that it's regionalization, and make you all live with it.
Yeah.
I think though we've got a few more people in the waiting room. I think we should probably try to get them on.
Yeah, there's 2 here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, boys, I'll tell you what. I got to go. I got to sign out. Wife's
Okay.
soon be home from work.
Right on.
Thank God. I got to kick the girlfriend out. And but it's a great show, and I'm loving it. And keep it up.
Appreciate
Thank you
it,
very
man.
much.
Good talking to you.
Yeah. Good luck to you
Yeah,
all.
buddy. Right on.
Thank you.
See ya.
If
Okay.
you got to drop me to get someone else on, go ahead.
Yeah, peace out, Girl
Yeah,
Scout.
I think we may have. We got 2 of those guys here. I think we might have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But it
Is
might have to
Mr.
be
T
on
still here? How did Mr. T
Yes.
come in? Because I never saw how he's in the studio here.
Yeah, he's still there. But when you're ready to disconnect, it has to be on your end. I think. Not really. Yes.
No, like the whole time he was coming out of nowhere in my app.
Oh,
Like
I don't know.
Like I can see 3 screens, and when Old Crow was there, I could see a 4th screen.
Okay.
But every time Mr. T talks, or if he's even there,
Well, actually, he is there because you know what? When I
Are you
go
on a phone?
well, when I go on to the YouTube live chat, I can see him there. I can see his phone. I can see his hat.
maybe he connected through YouTube. No. What the fuck? I don't know, man. Oh, unless he actually followed the instructions and was an actual caller.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know.
All right, so we got. Let's see. Well, I'll just say MK. I'll just call him Mortal Kombat. MK. So I guess we'll get him on the go and see what's going on.
What are you up there, MK?
Hey, let's see what's going on.
What are you up there, boy?
Oh.
Hey, boys.
How are you?
What are you up there, buddy?
You must have some heat on the go there, do you?
It's only about 22 here, so okay.
Oh,
Man.
you're only
Just there.
not long in there, obviously.
No,
Man.
about a half hour, 40 minutes or so.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. I was listening inside for a while, then I had to leave.
Pretty sweet gig setup you got there.
It's not bad. It's kind of messy here tonight, but back a truck up to the door tomorrow and fix that in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I might do the same in my shed. I've been neglecting her lately because I got this new little spot down here, but
change as good as the rest.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's coming. Is mine coming through clear audio?
You're 100% good.
That's kind.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're showing.
Boys.
Yeah,
Am I going crazy? Because I can't see him. I don't know.
I can't.
My screen is split into 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we might have to.
I'm on the web app.
We might have to cut it down to 4. I think that's what the problem was.
There we go. Bye bye.
Okay, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, is that any better?
I can see.
I can see him through YouTube.
Are you on French? Are you on an iPhone?
Maybe.
No, I'm just asking because I think it might work in the way of Zoom that when he talks, he'll get the spotlight kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Same as Zoom.
Yeah.
Whoever
And I'm just reading on this thing here. It says, yes, just try to limit to 4 frames. And we had it at 5 for a while. So, that's fine. And I thank for, what do you call him again?
Mr. T.
Mr. T. Yeah, thanks, Mr. T, for coming on. It was good.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
chat.
definitely.
You're pretty knowledgeable.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
You were way over my head there for a little while with what's going on out on the West Coast. Was good to hear.
Yeah, me too. Like, I have no idea.
It's all it is
At all.
it's called A by Dobby. That's all we need to know about it. There's so many jokes. There's so many. Yeah. Or yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me do it. Hold on. Where's that? Do it. Oh. It won't play for some reason. Oh, here we go. No, It'll come through. I hit it 3 times. It'll come through later on. Betcha. The drum.
Oh yeah.
Watch out what happens.
But MK, is there anything you want to ask us or talk about tonight?
Oh man, the other guy. I guess he got tired of waiting and he bailed.
Ah.
Okay. Is MK? You're not referring to me, are you?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, MT.
MT. Ah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yes, but I didn't want to give the even your.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but whatever. Okay, if you're cool with that, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Well, I've been called worse.
Yeah.
No, just I just thought I'd dial in just to see what it was all about. You know, you had a great conversation there for a little while. But debate and order is pretty much front and center these days, yeah? Or have you been on that?
It should be.
It's huge, yeah. And this exploration, the bids for exploration was just that was Jesus, excuse me. They just added the 90-day extension to that too now.
I don't
Yeah.
exactly what's going on there. Why would the federal government have any influence over that, really? You know, I thought that was more or less provincial.
It's supposed to be, but I think part of that was with either the loan guarantee. Yeah, I think it was part of that was with, because that was what Dwight Ball kind of gave to them.
Yeah.
And it screwed us. Because I mean, like you only got to look at who the environment minister is. I mean, Steve Gilbo or whatever his name is there.
Gilbo.
Gilbo. Yeah.
Gilbo, whatever.
Hannibal the soy cannibal. I've called him.
And
but yeah, no, like he I can, and I okay, if the minister ever happens to somehow listen to this, that was a joke. I'm sorry, et cetera, et cetera. Just because I don't want to get sued. But no, like the biggest problem with this is that he has a vested interest in making sure that this doesn't happen.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, and one thing I say too is that like a lot of these groups, you know, Greenpeace, Sierra Club, and that, who are their backers? Who are the people who are giving them money? Because I can guarantee this. I say there's a bit of foreign cash flowing into those organizations.
I got no worries.
I've heard and I've read. I don't know if you guys know who Vivian Krause is.
I've heard them.
Yeah, she did a great piece a couple of years ago on funding, to shut down oil sands coming from, Russia, China. She's a follow the money type person, and she did a fantastic job. And apparently there's been like 1.3 billion pumped into shutting down the oil sands since 2003 into these groups.
Well,
yep.
Remember the good old days when all we had to be annoyed by? You didn't have. Was Paul Watson with the Sea Shepherd Society?
Oh,
he was the biggest thing. Everyone here hated him, right?
I still do.
He blocked me 1,000 times. I
don't know what he got to be, man. They were interviewing him back in the 70s when
he ain't no spring chicken.
And he was saying
he's a rich one though.
He was saying of seal fishery how that was their most lucrative protest, right? Like huge over anything else was seal fishery. They brought in millions and millions of dollars.
And they advertised for years after they shut down or say they banned the killing of the whitecoats. For years after, they had it on their website. The picture.
Oh yeah.
That was
using the whitecoat ban.
Yeah.
And I remember when they. I'm just thinking back now that I thought of his name. The Farley Mowat was his boat. Remember?
Yep. And
they had it in port in, I think it was Halifax or somewhere close to Halifax anyway. And they said, no, you're not getting your boat back until you pay. And he said it was remember he paid it in toonies because he said, if you want doubloons, I'll pay you in doubloons because there's nothing but piracy and yada, yada, yada. And they never ended up getting that Farley Mowat back because it was a pile of floating shit. So we got a new boat. And do you remember the name? What he renamed his new boat? The new one.
Was that the Paul McCartney?
No, Steve Irwin.
Oh,
after the Crocodile Hunter.
What was the ship that was in here 4, 5, 6 years ago?
Say it again.
They had his ship was in here 4 or 5 or 6 years ago. remember
I
seeing
think that was it.
Oh, was it?
It must have been that one, yeah, because the Farley Mode's been decommissioned now a long time. Because that was forever ago that they got rid of that one.
Well, I mean, I tell you this though, but like he's not a spring chicken, but he's certainly a rich one. I tell you that. Like he's
no doubt
rotten
about
with
it.
cash.
Oh yeah.
All those guys are. You think everybody from you think Bill McGibbon now, what he the leader of 350.org. All those guys, Jesus, they don't know what it's like to, wonder where your oil bill is going to be paid to this month, right? This kind of stuff.
Same with Dave Suzuki.
Oh, Jesus. He's worth $8 or $10 million, isn't he?
Oh man, he's
every bit.
He's rotten with it too. And it's okay it's fine to say, like we were saying earlier, it's fine to say just shut it down. Just retrain, just get an electric car if gas is too much. Like it's just so simple to them to solve the problem, right? When they have no idea what it's like.
But you got people like around town that probably don't even drive that are saying the same thing, right? You've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it on Twitter. And people
take the bus.
Yeah, just buy an electric car. Yeah, no sweat, man. I bought a new
car.
I got to trade that in now for an electric car, which costs even more. How much will you lose out of your pocket? A lot.
Yes, exactly.
It's not convenient. A lot of things they suggest, like I mean, and this whole this mass transit fix that they're on, like when I lived up in Alberta for 5 years. Okay, I had to take the bus a lot to get around at first before I bought my own vehicle. And I tell you this, I will never go back to getting on a bus because it sucks. It sucks taking the bus sometimes. I saw some crazy stuff on those buses, man. I remember one time this was St. John's. I got on St. John's bus, and I was just riding around town, and this guy gets on, sitting next to me, had a Newfoundland flag tattooed on one cheek and mom tattooed on the other, and I was like, all right. I was like, I'm not even saying nothing to this guy because he's gonna like bite me or something.
Yeah,
like that Uruguayan soccer player. He's gonna take a chomp out of me. And also maybe it's because I also did a stint as a security guard up in Alberta doing the downtown kind of route, and you end up dealing with kind of the best and the worst of society. And you see all the problems and the addiction issues and the alcoholism and things like that. And a lot of that is also you experience it on the buses. And I had no interest in taking buses after that. So when I can get a vehicle, I got a vehicle.
Yeah. The only Canadian town I've ever taken the bus to St. John's, and I hate passion. And I'll never go back. No, I mean, it was totally different I was in Vegas 3 times, not for pleasure, but had to take a bit of the bus and a little bit in not Halifax, Jesus. It's completely different St. John's, totally, right?
I haven't been
the infrastructure alone and stuff.
I was on bus in St. John's, in about 1989. That was the last time when we were just going back and forth from the apartment.
You're not missing much.
Grade school.
No,
I don't think I have. No, well, I mean, I lived in Ontario and I never bothered with buses. I think I might have been on the subway or GO train up there 2 or 3 times in 3 or 4 years, that type of thing. Just
I tell you kind of a funny one. There is when I was down in Peru, they got this thing called the Metropolitano, and it's a dedicated bus, and it's got its own lane and all that. But during rush hour, it's packed. So you got 100 people put on a bus meant for about 60 or 70. There's no safety kind of a thing. It's literally as many people as you can shove in the bus. You even have the transit security people are there just to make sure that your hand doesn't get stuck in the door. It was awesome. You literally had to lube yourself up and slide into the crowd. It was that bad.
A lobby party at the university years ago.
Oh man, it was nuts. I tell you the truth, it was the craziest thing I've ever been on. And I've been on buses in India too. Now you want Yeah, that was fun. Not as crowded as Peru, which was very surprising to me. But yeah, like I'm in certain places, mass transit is a great idea. But I'm just not
No,
like
the
having a
only
car.
bus. Yeah, I was on a bus now. It was totally different circumstance because it was a private tour company, and we were just driving. It was probably like a half-hour drive to this spot we were going. And I mean, the bus ride itself was fine, but man, the roads and the garbage on the side of it, completely different. Like I said, situation. But red light down, like not a traffic light down or anywhere. Like we were all like, "Holy shit, man!" Now the guy obviously knew exactly what he was doing. He probably done it a million times, but it was not only about the bus; it's about the roads and infrastructure and everything else.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely is. But like the other thing, I think the transit, like the mass transit people who are telling like get rid of your car, get rid of your truck,
Yeah. Limo that's
eat
40 feet long and all that stuff.
oh god, that ad makes me cringe,
Yeah,
like so bad. But the thing is, I think that they really don't like is that people are independent, that they're more mobile, and those people with the car are generally probably a little more emotionally content. Because
yeah,
I mean, you don't have to sit there in the freezing cold of St. John's. The St. John's is freaking cold in winter, boys.
yeah.
Like I don't care what anyone says.
And to
And
cut into, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, you're going to sit in the bus in the bus stop and wait for that. No thanks, boys. Like I live now.
No.
Like I said, I live in Alberta. I had to do that every now and then. It sucked. Um,
Yeah, I did it as a necessity for a couple of years, and I could not wait for it to end. And once it did, I promised myself never, ever, ever again. I just
no,
hated it.
like it's awesome having your own vehicle. Like the
Oh yeah,
independence you have, the freedom is what I really should say.
yeah,
Is I now if I want to go somewhere, I don't have to rely on if I want to go to Corner Brook, I don't have to rely on DRL. I can get in my
no,
car, I can drive to Corner Brook, I can do whatever I want. There's no timeline.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's one thing I find like about a lot of these people is that they like things to be controllable in a way. They like it to be scheduled and everyone has to kind of go through the same misery, I
yeah.
guess.
Do you think you'd have the same type of freedom with an electric car?
Oh no, probably not.
In around St. John's wouldn't be as bad as I mean, if you're going beating around the highway every day, it's probably not going to be very feasible, right?
And, well, the other thing that bothers me about the whole electric car thing and that it's easy to say like, oh my god, I got the electric car, I'm saving so much money on fuel and this and that. You're not saving it on labor because you can
No,
only take your electric car to a few places because there's not like a lot of mechanics are not trained to work with them, and
no,
they're not equipped to work with them. So
yeah,
you're going to go to an electric car garage, which usually the dealerships, and they're not charging 115 an hour, they're charging
no,
160.
yeah, yeah.
How much?
160, I think it was one of the rates I saw in St. John's.
And like I
Um,
said, beating around St. John's is not so bad because you can, if you're close to home, you come home and charge. But if you're going across, say you're going across the island, and you got to stop for a church, what are you going to do for 2 hours or however long it takes?
yep.
And
Well,
then
yeah.
how many's going to be ahead of you? So because the devil is absolutely in the details. It's not as just easy as here, go get an electric car, and everything is fine. Like Trudeau table that by 2030. You won't be able to buy a gas-powered vehicle, or a gasoline-powered vehicle.
2035 or 2030?
Sorry, go ahead.
Was that 2035?
I thought it was 2030. No, I stand to be corrected, but
No, I just
yeah,
assumed everyone seems to be going 2035 with that for some reason.
that could be, or it could be just starting in 2030, maybe 2030, maybe 2035 is the end year you won't be able to get gasoline-powered. Or
Oh
light
God, I know.
or light diesel because
Well, you can't afford diesel now anyway.
no. But you do need diesel. I mean, diesel trucks in every goddamn good and every good on this island is brought in by diesel.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Now I'm about a half hour out of town, 35 minutes from say work, and I don't think electric car would be any good to me. I mean,
Maybe a hybrid or something, but I don't know.
Hybrid,
fully electric, I don't think.
I don't think the technology is there yet, and
No.
I don't think the battery technology is there yet to make me
No. But you know something, technology does grow in leaps and bounds, and once it once it starts going, it goes pretty quick, and then you got Elon Musk on the case too. So you never know. Maybe it'll get to that point, but how do you know?
When electric cars start showing up with 200,000 kilometers on it, and you can buy it and get another 50 or 60 on it, good, because then you're in the range of your Toyotas, Hondas. You can put 250 or 300,000 on your Subaru without any issue, and then sell it and get $5,000 for it or $4,000 for it, like the Tacoma I had a few years ago. I drove that thing into the freaking ground and sold it in for $4,000. And it had 250,000 kilometers on it. Then you got to so when I see electric cars get to that point, then new one maybe, or but the new government could come in a few years and say, this is hogwash, right? Buy what you want.
Well, I mean,
don't regulate people don't push people into basically. People are not given a decision of what they want to drive.
No.
But that's what they're doing, though. Like that's what they're really.
The grand
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry to kind of cut you off there, Goof.
Oh no, it wasn't me. No, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Like the thing is, and we see that now, like with Siobhan Cody there, when they were talking about, will you lower the fuel taxes? And she goes, well, I think Newfoundlanders are used to sacrifice or whatever it is, I forget her exact words. Sorry, but I mean, like that's.
I missed that when she said that.
Yeah, she said it when they were asking her about will you cut the fuel taxes down, and she pretty much, she essentially said, no, I'm not going to do that. And they're offering these things for electric vehicles. They're talking about we're going to switch things over to electric. Like I think the premier had an announcement today with the MUN or Munnel or whatever they call themselves now. I Munnel the out of province tunnel. But the thing about it is that we can only take so much. I'm sorry, my still. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Yep. So the thing is that we get the government kind of pushing us in this way, and that's bad because once governments start. Actually, I had a post with this on Twitter very recently. I should probably pin this. It's from a book I was reading, and when the government starts favoring certain kind of institutions and companies, you see disparities arise. You see kind of benefits and costs, and by pushing this kind of electric bill or this electric kind of cars, pushing the prices higher or keeping them higher through fuel prices, through fuel taxes and things like that. Yeah. While it might quote unquote benefit the environment, you're hurting the poor because a lot of these people who are on social assistance, who got like an old, I don't know, an 05 Corolla or an 06 Civic or something like that, they can't afford to go out and get an electric car. They can barely afford to. They can barely afford to put get a set of ball joints or something like that for their vehicle. And trust me, I know for me, I've seen that.
Well, look, when they tried to make winter tires mandatory. Remember that little stint that they tried that? And
I know.
That was like, boy, I can't afford 2 sets of tires. And so, I mean, how do you expect people to just go do it? Just figure it out. Just figure it out. Go do it.
You can still drive around anywhere on the island. I'm lucky, so I got a decent rig. I got a decent job. But there's a lot of people out there, the lower wage earners say, for lack of any better term, that just can't afford to pay $25,000 to $30,000 for a rig, and they're still driving, and they're probably smarter than me. Going out every 2 years and paying $2,500 for your Cavaliers or whatever, and just drive it until it's junk and then throw it away and get another one, right? And they won't be able to afford to go out and pay 30. Even a low end electric car is what, 30 grand, maybe, with the rebates from the federal and provincial government and stuff.
Yeah, fair point.
You're still looking at what, $500, $600, $700 a month for that rig for 5 to 7 years, say.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of money off people's tables and stuff. So I don't know where it's going, but it's not going anywhere good. That's my prediction. It can't. I don't think this attitude with governments can last. I think it's getting to a certain point where people are going to start pushing back, because now you got high fuel prices, you got high food prices. It's just so much more expensive to live than it was even 10 years ago.
Oh my God, is it ever?
You're going to have
it's going to get worse and worse.
Yeah. So there's at some point, there absolutely has to be a pushback.
Yep.
And I think it might be in the next election, probably down in the States. I think I'm not big into U.S. politics, but I think Biden is teetering on the edge.
Well, it'll be Kamala Harris soon taking over, and you might listen. Trump is going to run again, and
you think?
I think so. And if he does, I bet you'll get in again.
I wish.
Well, they did.
I wish Ron Paul would run.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I wish Ron Paul was in the young enough to run again, because I like Ron Paul. He would have been a great president.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with him. I've heard his name.
He does a lot of things. He's a very libertarian guy. Did some books on school vouchers and things like that in the States. But I think, boys, like we're kind of it's getting a bit late, and I'm
we're I was just going to say we're pushing 2.5 hours, and we only get so many hours per month on that platform. We probably should wrap it up, and but we'll definitely do it again sometime.
Was there someone else you wanted to get in the queue? I'll jump out.
Nope, there's no one else. She's all cleared up. We had one, but I guess he couldn't wait any longer, which is understandable, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is there any way you can do Zoom or YouTube with, you can have 5-6 fellas in there type thing?
You can, but something I never looked into Zoom. You can do that, no problem. But the problem is recording it. You got to have something to be able to record or stream, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely look into it for sure.
Okay.
But this is a pretty good platform, I got to say.
First time I've used it, so.
It's pretty good. I just came across it from Google.
Yeah.
But okay, so I'm going to hit the end transmission. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yep.
MT, and thanks to all the other guys, and thanks for all the viewers and listeners and everything else.
All right, guys. You take care.
See you now.
You too.